Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining in for another Sunday night movie club. I know I bounce around on days all the time, but you know what? It's just whenever it works out. So, and luckily it worked out for tonight to have my good friend on here, Rachel, the Elder Millennial, which I love the name, by the way. So, how are you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so
Good.
much. How are you doing?
Good. I love this awkward moment where we pretend we haven't talked for a little bit, and
I know. And I repeat the exact same things
and
here,
I'm asking the same things. And
and I
uh,
sound like my father, and then I reminisce. Ha, ha, ha.
oh well, you get to do that. But I truly appreciate you coming on tonight. I know we've kind of talked about this for a little while, and I'm glad it finally worked out. I know schedules get really busy, so I appreciate you taking the time and jumping in here for a little bit. So
Thank you. Thank you
yeah.
for having me. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. I will tell everybody. I'm gonna get to chat quick. I see some people jumping out there and throwing some things out there. I'm going to say I do have your YouTube link in the description. So if people, please, if you haven't come across Rachel before, please go out there, check her out. And I know I'm a broken record, but it's just hard getting in front of new people. It doesn't cost you anything. Go check it out. Hit the little sub, hit the bell reminder, check some of the things out, and go from there. No harm, no foul if it's not for you. But if not, or if it is, then you just found a new channel that you really enjoy watching. So, Rachel, before we get going in there, what do you want to throw out there? Like, where can people find you? What are you doing? And we'll
Yes.
maybe go deeper dive into some stuff later, what you might have coming out. But where can people find you out on the socials?
The socials, I'm mostly on X. You can find me at Elder Moliere. And I have daily tweets that I am doing for a movie club that I've just started for 2026.
Nice.
I've also posted it in Reddit. So if you're like in Reddit, it's in I think the R Cinephiles and R Flicks kind of sub post or whatever. So I've had some responses. So it's been quite interesting. And then they're
Nice.
like, the link is expired. And I'm like, darn it. I fixed that.
Well, I'll be sure to get your Twitter, your X link out on the description as well. But hopefully, at least the YouTube can get people start routing to you and going through that. But no, that's very good. So I'm going to do a speed run really quick. I see some people out in the chat. Say hi, and then we'll kind of try to do a nice little balance between the two. But first and foremost, I see Nanette in here gifting 5 memberships. So thank you so much. That is super sweet of you. Super generous of you. I appreciate that so much. And it's so generous. My dog is saying hello and saying hi. So if you can hear him barking, he's excited as well. So, I'm so professional. We got dogs barking and everything.
I
But
mean, I'm an animal whisperer, so he's probably feeling my spirit all the way
there you
through.
go. All right. You're okay with that then. So, yeah. But I'm going to try to look. I see, who got those? Cinderella. We got, Allie. Allie got one. Words and Pictures, Doom Boogie, and Dark Room Reviews. Joel's over there. So cool. Very cool. Very generous of you. I appreciate that so much. We got Adrian James in here saying, hey, everyone. Good to see you, my friend. We got Movie Hunter in here saying, evening, everyone. And then Nanette, after her really nice gift there, is just saying hello to everybody. And we got some highs back and forth. If I miss anybody's, it's not on purpose. Just trying to keep up with the chat as I can. And then also, get to spend some time with Rachel here that we want to talk and dig into all the things that she's got going on. We got What's Johnny watching in here. Johnny, what's going on? Saying, what's up, cool kids? Good to see him, my friend. Got some highs and hellos. We got Mr. Hall and
Hello,
Oates in here.
Holland.
Let me see here. I don't want to miss anybody.
I know.
I always hate that. I feel bad. Big Al presents. Al, what's going on, man? Saying hello, everyone. Hopefully you all are doing well on this Sunday evening. At least I had this to look forward to because I always get those Sunday evening blues because I know I got to go back to work the next the day.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah. I have scheduled the movies to be at night now, so it's something that I do before I go to bed, unless I'm doing something like this, and then I'll move it up earlier in the day. But
And then you can look forward to it.
yeah, and then I'm like, oh, it's a Sunday night. Oh, but I picked a movie to watch.
Oh, I should do that. That's a great idea.
It used to be horror movies. I would just watch horror movies before I go to bed. It was weird. I'm a weird one.
No, that's all right. No, you're not weird at all. I know a lot of people that, yeah, you'll watch the craziest horror movie in the world and be like, okay, I'm sleepy now and go to bed. Sweet dreams, you know. Johnny in here saying Rachel just got a sub from Johnny.
Thank you.
Together we grow. There we go. I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. And then
He
another
is a
sub.
man after my heart. His picture, he's standing in front of a Blockbuster.
Yep.
I was a manager of Blockbuster for years in Boston.
Were you really?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
worked my
awesome.
way up. Yeah, I love Blockbuster. Oh man.
Oh gosh, I was speaking of weekends. Like weekends, there's a lot of my weekends started at Blockbusters a lot of times. You know, like a Friday night after work, like going in there and finding some movies to watch for the weekend. And there was a lot of starts of weekends. We're in a Blockbuster video store. So Nanette was also saying subbed up to your channel too.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's always sweet for people to go check people out. And like I said, doesn't cost you anything, you know, if it's not your thing, cool. But if it is, you know, like join in, like check out the stuff they got going on. And let me see here. Movie Hunter was saying, love meeting new content creators from these shows. My only question for Rachel is, do you like steelbooks?
Okay, so I don't know if this is a trick question or whatnot, but I will say I did just get my first steelbook for Christmas. I had put it on my Christmas wish list. It was
Nice.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So,
Oh, great movie.
so yes.
But that's okay. You know, like everybody's at different levels of collecting and what they get into or how they watch or read or, you know, like how they get through these stories. And there's different ways to go about it. So, well, cool. So you got your first steelbook. So maybe you've been bit by the bug now and you're going to have to get some more.
I know you mentioned how people collect and everything like that. For me, it's based on price. If I want to own it and it's cheap, that is where it comes to. So it's just like, oh man, I aim to have a collection that I see behind you right now. It's amazing. I don't know how.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
I don't know how you do it or where you store it. Like I'm sure there's more.
Well, I'm to the point where I'm gonna thin some things out, but like I always tell anybody that's starting to do it, this is many years. It didn't happen over a year or 3 months or whatever, you know, like this is many years. And I also don't have any problem buying used movies. So there's sometimes you can get a lot of great deals and, you know, come back with a stack of movies that cost anymore. Like you said, there's some steelbooks that I've seen that I absolutely love. Like I would be like, I'd love to have that in my collection, but some of them are at prices that I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I was telling my brother who called earlier and I was telling him he should come up and visit. We were just chatting away and I was like, oh, well, you should come up and visit because we go to Vermont at the end of September where they have this absolutely huge like harvest festival. And there's not only like people with food and trucks and everything like that, and they press the fresh cider and everything. There are booths upon booths of just people selling stuff. And I went to one booth where I got any movie you wanted for $1. I walked away with 25 to, I think I walked away with almost 25, as much as I could have, 25 in my hand that I walked away with. I was like, I don't have this. I don't have this. I've never seen this. I don't have this.
That's why I love thrifting or buying used. You can get a lot of great movies that you still really enjoy that you just, anyway, I've been there before too. Like, so when you're talking about some new steelbooks, sometimes with some of the prices, you can walk away with 15 to 20 used Blu-rays for the price of this one 4K steelbook. Nothing against that steelbook. I love it. I'd love to have it in there, but you know, sometimes that's the balancing act where you're kind of like, which way do I go with some of that stuff? So we got Box Office Brawler in here saying, finally, I'm here live. Good to see you, man. Got another sub there
Oh,
from
thank
Big
you.
Al. Thank you, Al. Thank you. Always a great supporter. We got Steve Moody in here saying howdy, y'all. Brawler is saying Rachel looks familiar. I feel like I've seen her on a stream before.
Yeah.
You frequented some of Nadia's streams,
Yeah.
Horror with Nads, and that's how I think the first we hung out was
Yes.
through her stream, and did the whole series that we are not supposed to say the name of anymore, or
Yep. The
the
dreaded
Institute.
eye. The eye.
I said it. Oh no, I said it. But no, that's I was lucky enough to meet up with you through her. But I know you've jumped on a lot of her streams. But are there?
Yeah.
But there's other ones you've been kind of popping up on too, haven't there?
Yes, I was just on Zach's stream last night. He has his circle of jerks that he does on Saturdays. And every once in a while I'll be able to stay up till 2:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time and do it with him. I really do love it though. He has some of the best clips and things like that. But Brawler's probably seen me on the Institute because if he watched it, Kyle was on there as well. And I know he knows Kyle. So
yeah, yep. Probably from that. So but no, very good. All right, I'm running really quick because I see a lot of highs back and forth, which I might be going past. Johnny was saying One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is an awesome steel book, nice spot gloss on it. So you got a nice one.
What these terms are now spot gloss.
So like your spot gloss, you got the little hints of like shiny on it, kind of. Like the whole thing's not just a shiny glass, but there might be like little subtle hints of
flecks of
like accents basically. On the artwork on the steelbook. But yeah, there's all kinds of, believe me, I still am trying to learn all the terms, so
wow,
I'm not quite there yet. But we got Jeff in here, John Doe Juggalo, saying good evening, my friends. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Movie Hunter saying manager at Blockbuster. I have a question for you. I bought a big empty binder that has a big Blockbuster logo on it, and it says the Blue Book. Any ideas what it was used for? The Blue Book. And maybe it was just for that particular store too. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't white.
I remember that we did have a big blue binder. I don't remember, like, I guess we might have called it the Big Book, the Big Blue book. But to the life of me, I couldn't tell you what was in it or even remember what was in it. It was probably just schedules, or even if I were to properly guess, inventory sheets that we probably were reducing damaged goods, any scratched goods, anything that was missing or anything like that. We probably put it all in the Big Blue Book. It's just an inventory kind of catch-all, if I were to guess properly. Otherwise, I can't imagine we would have used it for anything else. I remember doing a lot of inventory and a lot of this is scratching, a lot of playing discs and things like that. So
nice.
Yeah.
The one thing I always get really jealous of is I see some people have the old metal, like post office box looking return Blockbuster boxes, like what I'm talking about. It looks like a post office box, but it's the blue and yellow Blockbuster where you drop the returns in. And I've seen some people get some of those and they have them in their little movie room. And I'm like, oh, that'd be, I don't know. Nostalgia right there.
To see, I know. And speaking of nostalgia, I still have to see the documentary that they made about the last Blockbuster. That's
I've not seen that either.
Still open. I don't know. Is it even open anymore?
It was up in the Northwest or something, wasn't it?
Or Oregon, I think.
Yeah, sounds right.
That
sounds right. I'll have to check that out as well. All right. I'm going to try to, I know I said I was going to try to hurry, but I'm taking my time apparently. But everybody, thank you so much I'm going to try to jump back and forth with the chat. I want to definitely spend as much time with Rachel as I can, since she was nice enough to give me some of her evening. But I'm going to say hi to Enigma Severus in here saying greetings. How we do, peeps? So we're doing good. So, Rachel, All right, there we go. We got first round. I'm gonna put a star in that. We'll come back to the chat. If anybody has any questions or anything, please throw it out. I'd love that with the blockbuster. You know, like people start listening what we're talking about, and you know, throwing out questions for it. But so I know when I met you, like I said, originally through Nadia's channel, Horror with Nads. Great friend, I would say, for both of us, and lover. That was a fun stretch, even if not everybody loved the series that we were going through. But through that, like getting to talk to you before the live streams and after the live streams, or even during it, I really got a sense from you that you had a big love for not only movies but TV series and books. It sounded like you had like a well-rounded. So where do you? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like, what do you enjoy all of those? Like, what do you lean towards more, or you know, like how do you spend your time wanting to dive into stories and get into some of these things?
There was, excuse me,
No, you're fine.
there was so I grew up I was born in Boston, but I grew up in Orlando. And so working at Disney, and I think that was and being right next to Nickelodeon and Universal, like that was the culmination of the beginning of Rachel loves TV, Rachel loves film, Rachel loves all of this artistic stuff.
Yeah.
Rachel majored in musical theater, you know, so she has that artistic side of her. Rachel will stop talking about herself in third person.
I love it. No, go for it. I love it.
But I remember when I was young, it would I went to film school. Though I call it film school. I say film, but I majored in theater. But then I was like really focused in film, working at Blockbuster when I was going to college and doing all those things. And I remember having a love for foreign films. And I remember not too long ago thinking I really went off of my deep end with the watching of foreign films when I was younger. And then I stopped and I was just like, oh no, I really want to get back to that. So that was one thing that popped into my head when I was starting my channel. And from the foreign films, it went into the TiVo world. So when TiVo came,
No,
Rachel was addicted to TV. Oh, there we go again. I was addicted to TV. I think at one point I was watching, I can't even think, 70 shows at one time when TV shows actually had 22 episodes and it took time to, you know, catch up all and everything like that. And
you were just setting the DVR on everything then.
Yes, absolutely. I was the person that had the TiVo with the four savings.
I need it all. I need to save all of it. So
yep.
No, that's great.
So then, you know, I got my actual second degree in entertainment business, my bachelor's degree, and I shifted back into film. You know, it then became more of a balance, I would honestly say. The love of film brought me to California for a year and a half, and God bless anyone who lives in California still. I hated it out there.
Was not your thing.
It was not my thing. The people are not my thing. The weather was not my thing. I enjoy seasons. I'm back here and now I live, you know, in New Hampshire. It's going to snow tonight. So
yeah. We might be getting some too as well. So
nice. Yeah. But, you know, after graduating and doing that and starting my channel now, it's a reflection on what I used to love in the past and how I can balance both of those and talk about it with people I love. And I was like remembering watching Nadia on her, you know, meeting Nadia, like watching her and typing furiously in the chats and typing. And I was talking to my boyfriend and he's like, you should just start a channel. He's like, you have stuff to say and you majored in this and you watch a lot of stuff. And I was like, yeah, but there's like so much that I haven't seen and they're going to make fun of me. And oh my God, you have no idea. But anyway, he's like, well, then you can get it over with. Now you have time. I was like, you know what? You're right. Maybe I will have time. I'll make it a goal. So I can go into the goals. I am watching.
Can I, sorry,
Mhm.
no, you're good. You're good. And I hate cutting people off, but I just want to say really quickly, just because I have a different person, but a similar experience where, well, what do I have to bring to this? And somebody's like, you enjoy it, you love it. Get out there and talk about it. You'll connect with some people. Who cares if it's one person or however many people it is, but if you have an enjoyment to do it, just get out there and start talking. Talk about what you enjoy, and people, if they connect, they do. If not, you know what?
Exactly.
So anyway,
Mhm.
that connected with me when you said that, because I was the
Yeah.
same way, where I was very hesitant to start doing that. And I had somebody that, well, actually multiple people that were just kind of like, Corey, you like talking about it. You talk to me about it. Get on there. Just start talking about it. So I'm glad you started your channel. And
Mhm.
so that was a goal. You hit that goal. You started the
Yep.
channel, and we were kind of throwing around some ideas of like goals maybe for this coming year. And is that what you're going to lean into
That
now?
is what I'm going to
All
lean
right,
into
let's
now.
go. Let's go.
What did I call it? The Discord Movie Club of 2026. At first, I think the easy one was the Elder Millennial Movie Club, but I think on the post on Reddit, I just put the Discord Movie Club of 2026 because I kind of wanted, like, if I put Elder Millennial on Reddit, people are like, who, what, who, what, who? People don't know
Well,
who you
same
are.
with anything I put my name on too. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I understand.
But I have, it's twofold. It's a movie every day.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
every day is tied to a national holiday. So if you were to go to nationaltoday.com, every day they list like funny or actual holidays. So for instance, January 1st would be New Year's, New Year's Day, but then they probably also have like French Toast Day and National Pumpkin Spice Day, or stuff that I'm like totally making up, but they are real according to the national holidays.
Sure.
I've found, with the help of AI, I've found a movie to watch every single day, matching to a national holiday. And the second part of that is that I, being an elder millennial and definitely haven't seen a lot of older films, um, started with every year, started with my years. So 2025, I did movies that are turning 50 this year. So then I was able to see movies that I've never seen from 1975. So this
Nice.
year it is 1976. And my first, all the movies from 1976 are going to be on Sundays. Um,
And I'm going to be
yeah.
hanging out with you at least for a little bit on one of your live streams for 76. Is that right?
No, well, you'll be hanging out with my live stream for hearing the 76 movies that I haven't seen. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. See,
Yeah.
look at me. I'm already messing stuff up. I'm like,
No, no, no. It's kind of a funny thing. So, for instance, I know Rocky's come out in 1976.
yeah.
I've
Yep.
never seen Rocky. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
No, no.
sorry.
See, I'll never judge anybody because there's so many movies, even recent ones, that I'll throw out there that I've never seen before, and I'll have people like gasp, like, oh my gosh,
Right.
how could you have never seen that? Like it's like there's only so many hours in the day, and I feel like I watch a good number of movies. I know there's people that watch way more than I do, but there's just only so much you can take in, and
Right.
so there's always going to be those little missed titles that
Exactly.
but you can go back and try to get to them like you're doing right now.
So that's the point. So then I'm putting together a panel of people who are like, oh no, this is a movie from 1976 that you need to see. Make sure you have it on the list for this year. Even though I've already made my list, I can then go back and double check and make sure Rocky is already on the list, but I can double make sure that, Rocky's on the list or whatever else movies the panel comes up with. I'm so excited, and I'm going to try and make it a yearly thing. So, God willing, 1977 will be in 2027 on my birthday, and so on and so forth. So,
Well, you can find some fun movies and some things you might end up really enjoying that it gives you an excuse to dig into those, and you might find some gems in there that you're like, I'm glad I came across this. I'm glad I'm doing this, kind of a thing. So,
or even movies that you would never have even thought to watch. So
correct.
today's
Yeah,
the
correct.
first Sunday. I had my first 1976 movie. It was The Outlaw Josie Wales with
Oh,
Clint Eastwood.
that's a good one.
I will tell you, when I was watching movies from 1975, how boring they were. So boring. They were so boring. I watched them to watch them, but the only ones that were good, Dog Day Afternoon was good. 3 Days of the Condor was good.
Mm-hmm.
I hated Tommy.
I've actually never seen it, so I'll admit that's one I've never seen. But
anyway.
Outlaw Josie Wales, that's a good one. I grew up with the westerns, so that was one that I saw pretty early on. So
See, and I didn't really grow up with westerns. The kind of westerns maybe grow up with what my dad really loved. John Wayne.
John Wayne.
I almost said John Hurt.
No, that's all right. I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah, so like I know High Noon and everything like that, but I don't really like dive into the westerns like the spaghetti westerns. I've never seen any of those, so it's going to be really interesting trying to get all the 60s spaghetti westerns into my repertoire and things like that. But just doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, so today was 1976 Outlaw Josie Wales, and I really loved it. I absolutely was like,
I enjoyed that one.
The music was fantastic. The layout, Clint Eastwood, whoo, smoking.
He's an old man now, but he was a good-looking dude back in the day, right?
Dude, I was like, oh, hello.
I'm not afraid to say that. No, I'm not afraid to say that because there's a reason why he was so popular for so long. I mean, first of all, he's just cool. He's a great actor. He was a good-looking young guy, and then he grew into like directing. So he was a very talented person, and kind of in the film industry, he kind of hit every angle you could do almost, but maybe not. But acting and directing, producing, seems like quite a bit of stuff was hitting on. So
yeah.
I'm going to jump in the chat just real quick so I don't fall too far behind. But Nanette was saying, I looked up on Google and the last Blockbuster is still open, and Google says it is still open. It is still open. That'd be a fun road trip. We'll go check that out.
You just read my mind.
Okay, I'm going to do really quick here. Johnny was saying it took us forever to get Corey to finally start going live. I know. Now you're like, why did we ever do that? He won't shut up. He just keeps on. No, I'm just kidding. Enigma said, how could you, Corey? The nerve. I know, like movies I've never seen before, like the audacity. The audacity. Johnny was saying, if you're doing Rocky, you must watch All the President's Men and Network.
Seen All the President's Men. I have Network scheduled.
All right, there you go. So you're on Johnny's schedule there. Mm-hmm. Nanette was saying, Corey, I have a lot of time on my hand. I still haven't seen some of the movies everyone has, so didn't feel bad. Yeah, no, believe me, there's always something. Nobody's seen everything.
No.
Nobody.
And speaking of nobody's seen everything, having gone through 365 days of finding movies to watch that you've never seen, I know some people don't like tedious tasks, but I am one who does. Like, I love researching, and doing that research it was chef's kiss for me. I was just like, I'm going to get started on 2027.
I tell you what, I think some of my goals, and if we get into some of those, I thought some of my goals were being ambitious for me, but man, 365 movies. So yeah, a movie a day you're going to do?
A movie a day. And to be fair, I started 40 days ago because it technically takes 40 days to start a habit. So I started November 22nd, finishing off all the 1975 movies. And then when we went into December, Naughty was having her last stream, which was her horror tier stream. So I switched out some of the movies and watched 22 horror films in December.
Then did you go to like straight like comedies and rom-com for a little while after that? Like you got 20 straight horror movies and you're like, I got to have a palate cleanser or something. I love horror movies, but
yeah, I know. My palate cleanser was on Christmas. I was able to watch my favorite Christmas movie, which was The Family Stone.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. I've not seen that. I always joke, I'm going to create a t-shirt to sell that says I own it, but I haven't seen it yet. And that is one that I do own. I seem to say that a lot on live streams. And so people are like, do you actually watch anything yeah, I do. But that's one of my goals for this year too, is try to get that number of unwatched ones that I have sitting on a shelf
Yeah.
Like get that narrowed down a little bit. So,
Cool.
where did I end off? Steve was saying Clint might be hot, but he can't grow a good beard as you, Corey. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he just hasn't tried. I don't know that for sure. But yeah, okay. So wow, that's a
Yeah.
major undertaking. 365 movies in a year.
365 movies in a year. I have the calendars all set up. So I think on my community page, I posted the January schedule on there
On
of the
YouTube.
list of movies. Yes.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out. I'll have
Yeah.
to see what you got on there. So you're sticking with that year and kind of working your way up, or is it a mix of things?
Uh, I'm sticking with that year and working my way up for
Mm-hmm.
Sundays. And then the rest of Monday through Saturday will be like whatever year is it's open bar. So
Nice, nice. Wow, that's that's a challenge. Like I feel like my challenges feel pretty weak right now. Like after hearing hearing that, because that's an undertaking. And I know,
it
like,
is.
I know sometimes you might be busy and maybe you're gonna have to fit two movies in on one day instead of like one per day, or
I thought
like
of that
whatever. But
because there's two back to back high school graduations
oof,
that I have to go to, and they're one's in Vermont, which is only 3 hours away, and the other one has decided to live in California. So,
well, but even
so
when you say only 3 hours away, I mean that's a day. Even if you
yeah,
were there and back in a day, that's a full
that's true.
day.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, that's a day probably not watching a movie, unless you have a driver and you can download something onto a tablet or a phone and you watch it that way. You could maybe fit it in that way. You got,
I'm gonna give myself grace and say, as long as I can maybe fit it in before midnight, I couldn't care less if I show it at 8 o'clock in the morning.
well, honestly, I would not ever hold that against anybody. If you're taking on like 365 movies in a year, and I understand the whole like one movie a day, but if you were like, believe me, I know how life goes. If you were to like, this day is gone,
Hmm.
and it could be a
Hmm.
very important thing. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that in like a negative way, but I don't have time to watch a movie today. And you like fit in two or do a triple feature one day to try to help work ahead or something like that.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say one word to you, because I'd be like, you're still fitting in a 365 movies in a year. So,
Yeah, and you know what? You're right. Things can happen, life can happen, and
mhm.
as much as you try to plan stuff out, you can't. So I would always just try to make a Twitter post if I could, and just be like, "Oh, sorry guys, no movie today, but double feature on Saturday or triple feature. It's a holiday weekend." So yeah,
Yeah, give yourself some grace on that. I
yeah,
was going to say, that's a big undertaking. And I think at the end of the year, if you fit that many movies in, I would not be like, well, but was it really one per day? Or, like one day you just are like, today's open. I can get three in, because I know these next 2 days I'm going to have to be traveling and doing stuff. Like
hmm,
I
yeah,
wouldn't think one thing about that. So,
yeah, that's true.
Johnny was saying, ooh, Rachel is going to be in for a treat with Martyrs. Fun for the whole family, right?
He's on the schedule.
That's on the schedule. I've never seen it, but I've heard so many comments on that
The
one.
funny thing is, would you believe? And I think it's January 30th. Is actually called Martyrs Day,
And you're going to watch it on that day?
and I'm gonna watch it on that day.
Oh, wow.
Some of the movies were actually really easy to pair up with the national holiday.
Maybe I should like send you a message later that day and be like, are you okay? Or, like, are you feeling okay? Because I heard that's a heck of a movie. So,
I mean, I've seen Audition, I've seen Irreversible. If it's any worse than either one of those, and anyone in the chats have seen those, I'll be okay.
yeah. Yeah. Nanette was saying, question for Rachel. I have a channel on YouTube and I would like to take on your movie challenge. If you're okay with, I know I'm coming into this late, but better late than never. But if you don't want me, I won't. I will not.
I want Everyone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Gary Oldman, come on, everyone. Then there you go. Opened up to the challenge, so definitely do it. And
Follow me
sometimes it's kind of
on.
cool too to like compare notes, what you're watching and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I host them on the Discord. I have a Discord that it's within the Fellowship Fringe Society. They gave me a voice channel where I have my own little, movie theater. And follow me on X at Elder Millennial. Every day I
I'll
put.
get that. I'll get that in the description. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Oh
you
yeah,
off again,
sure.
but
No, that's okay.
I have
I post
I
it.
have your YouTube in the description, but I will make sure to update the X Twitter link and anything. We'll talk after, and I'll make sure I
Yeah,
get
of course.
anything relevant put in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And like, I try to be consistent. Consistency is key, but you know, uh especially when it comes to like with the times and everything like that. But it's mostly either going to be in the at like 4 p.m. Eastern or like 9 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern. One of those two. If I'm streaming in the evening, it'll be earlier. If not, then but it'll always be on Discord. I mean, it'll always be on X that I'll post it.
Okay. Johnny was saying, I'll say this: Martyrs is good, but it will scar you psychologically.
Okay. All right. Good. The
So
damage is done.
yeah, like build up the resistance before you watch that one. But he says, oh, it's not as jarring as Irreversible, which I've also
Okay.
heard a lot of things about, and I've not seen, but I've heard that is a
You
very
know,
rough one as well.
it is. It's one of those movies where, just like Audition, if you love movies and you're willing to take a chance on seeing something different, I would recommend it. But both, they are hardcore, especially Irreversible, to the point where I can still remember like talking about it, bringing it up when people talk about divisive movies and everything. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I've had some friends that ended up ultimately said they thought it was a good movie, but the first watch they stopped it and they walked away and came
Yep.
back. They're like, I need a break, and I'm not. It's more of a nervous laugh, but some movies are so intense and bring some
Yeah.
emotions out that they were just like, I had to walk away, take a break, and I came back.
Mm-hmm.
They said
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, I think it was a great movie, but it's one I would give a little warning to people, or a big
Mm-hmm.
warning to people before they
Yes.
watched it.
Yeah.
And but they were like, "Yep, I just needed to step away for a second and
Mm.
come back to it." But I still have not seen that, but I know this severity of the movie, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I just got to be. There's some of those movies I think I'll hit at some point, but
Right.
I'm such a, and maybe everybody is, but a bit of a mood watcher where you got to be in the right headspace or the right mood to
Yeah.
take on certain movies. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of evenings like tonight, like before going to work tomorrow morning, Martyrs and Irreversible will probably not be on my list of trying to fit in before I go to bed tonight. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
no, disrespect to those movies, but that probably won't be one I'll try to fit in before I go to bed. But,
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
but,
I remember I think being so lucky watching both of them earlier on in my days. I remember watching them with people who were also interested in a lot of foreign movies, and we were watching them together at the same time. So I was fortunate enough to be with other people while we were screaming and watching it.
so do you find it, that's interesting. Like for harder movies for you to watch, whether it's violence or something like discomforting, like to watch, is it a little easier for you if you have some people with you to watch through with it, or
I would I would think I would say in the past it just sort of happened that I was with people, but I always would just watch movies on my own. I don't think I um would wait for anyone. Like if I needed a group of people to watch,
yeah?
no, I could always manage to watch stuff like that on my own, harder movies and everything. If I go to the movie theater alone, if it's a harder movie, do I like being in the theater alone or with other people? I could take it or leave it. I
Hmm.
think I'm already there to see the movie, so I'm going to enjoy it either, or I hope I'm going to enjoy it either way. So But there are certain movies that you should have some camaraderie with you and have people around you. And those particular movies, maybe not, but I was fortunate enough to have those experiences with other people and share in the sort of grief of the movies and stuff like that. But always loving having comedies and people around and laughing that way. So
Oh, that's always fun too. I think comedies are a good one for groups of people because that's where you're like, if you're with some friends, you like slap the other on the arm and like, oh my gosh, did you see that? Kind of a thing. And you're laughing together. And that's the fun thing to watching movies together when you have that communal kind of experience.
Yes.
And there, I'll agree. I'm bad with that where this last year and last year's goal was to get out to the theater more often. And I did succeed with that. So I did do that more often, but there's a lot of times where I'll just stay home and throw a movie in by myself. But it is different if you have some people with you, and
Yeah.
especially if it's ones like I love a good comedy with some friends because you get laughing, or then you're repeating lines from the movie, or I don't know, but you're having a good time and joking around about it. And
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little unfortunate for me moving from Boston and then to a small town in New Hampshire. And then Regal decides that they want to close all of the Regal theaters. And that was one of the ones that was closest to me. So now to get to my nearest AMC, I believe like an hour and 10 from me. So I started my channel thinking, oh my God, I'm going to make it to the movie theater. We've got one single like community theater who will show the movies after 2 weeks that they've been out. So I'll
yeah,
be able to see like the smaller kind of things. And if I drive 30 minutes west, that's like a smaller independent 6 screen kind of family owned theater that I would want to go to and things like that. But sometimes it's the weather that you can't go out and you're
oh,
just
for
like,
sure.
I'm just gonna stay home. I'm really
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'm out in the country where it might not seem well for some people it's a long ways, some people it's not, but I got minimum a half hour one way to the theater. So, like there's an hour round trip there, and then you got 20-30 minutes of previews, and then, whatever else. And, it can take a chunk of the night away, and where sometimes that could be a whole nother movie. I could maybe fit two in while I'm sitting at home. So I love the theater, but sometimes where I live and being in a smaller market, I don't have a lot of theaters around me. Sometimes it's kind of nice to just, maybe get a little more watched, and you can pause it when you want to, and you don't have people annoying you in the theater too. Luckily I've had some pretty good experiences this last year. I would say I was very surprised that, better than expected, but there was a few where I was like, nothing horrible, but just like, come on, turn the phone off, or, something like that.
Yeah. I would have to say in my years of going to the theater, I have not had that many bad instances. I would say I could probably count them on my hand, if any, that I could recall where there was like obnoxiousness going on. I might have just been fortunate to always picked a lucky showing of some sort, but
Right.
who knows?
I'll say the worst things that I've dealt with, if that's the worst I'm going to deal with, I'll be okay. I hear horror stories from other people, and I'm like, okay, I'll shut up. I'll shut up that through the credits at the beginning, they had their phone on, and it was in the corner of my eye and bugging me or whatever. Like that was okay, but it wasn't like somebody yelling and throwing stuff like through the theater, which I've heard some crazy stories from people, but, I was going to run through some of these. Holland said, Martyrs is good time, like Audition.
Okay.
So you got that there.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly. Then that said, I've seen and I own Irreversible, but I can't watch unless I'm in a good place when I watch it. I agree with, so I haven't seen it yet, but that's exactly, I know what you're talking about. That's where I'm saying, like, some friends have kind of like, they're not warning you away or anything, but they're just giving you a realistic expectation of what is in the movie. And I'm like, okay, I got to be in the right spot to tackle that. And there's a few of them I just haven't gotten to it yet. So
Yeah.
Good to see a Doom in there,
Nice.
throwing headphones and popcorn in there. Johnny was saying, just looked at your list and you have some bangers on there.
I
76 had some
know.
good films.
So yeah, yeah. There's a
Then,
lot of good movies out there.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, like a lot that we just haven't come across. So that's cool that you're going back and digging through those.
Yeah. It's
Then,
it's fun going to the IMDb page and reading the actual description, and you know, they'll play the trailer and I actually scroll down so it stops playing the trailer because I don't want to say I want to read and make my own decision from that point. I'll scroll up. If it catches my attention, I'll start to watch the trailer just a little bit. If it
mhm.
catches me, I'll stop it. I'll look at the rating and or what it has in a thing. Uh, and if it's, I usually pick it if it's a 6 or above. If
Okay.
it's lower than a 6, but I know the actors and I know the director and I just, it makes me curious, I choose it. But that was my reasoning on how I chose everything.
No, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
absolutely.
pretty cool.
You'll have some great ones in there. Um, I was just saying, Nanette was saying,
Go
Martyrs is very sad and very eye opening.
ahead.
And then also maybe Corey, maybe you can watch some of your favorite comedy movies with your channel members. That's a great idea. That'd be fun to do. I wish you could just show the movie and like actually do a true watch along, you
I
know?
know.
So I know some people find ways to be able to kind of watch it together, but then there's like sometimes we'll do watch alongs and you try to like tell everybody ahead of time and they watch it on their own and have fun or just have fun chatting with you. But then there's
Mhm.
other people that get upset you're not actually showing the movie and it's like, well, I can't.
Right.
I would love to be able to just like YouTube, like put it up on the screen and just
I
have
know.
us little small in the corner and us having a fun time watching it. But unfortunately, yeah,
Copyright rules exist
yep.
and people
Unfortunately, at
want
this
money.
time, yep, you can't do that. We got Larry, the Horcat Dad, in here saying, hey,
Hey.
folks, happy Sunday. Yep, to you too, sir.
Poor cat. I love it.
I know he's got, like I said, I should have thought about my name longer than I did before I created my channel. But one thing I did not know when you were like talking about some things I want to, if you don't mind, to jump back into, but
Hmm.
some of your love of international films, you brought that up, and maybe even at a younger age, jumping into that. Do you remember how you got started down that path? Was there a movie or somebody that introduced you to it? I'm just kind of curious because I enjoy them now, but I came into it much later in my life. I was kind of like subtitles, ew, like for the longest time, you know, you
I
know.
find that funny people make that joke, and I'm like, what people? That's why
No,
people have not watched foreign films because they don't want to read.
I believe me, I was there before. I now enjoy many films that have subtitles, and I still remember the first one I was doing English dubs, and I'm like, no, this is the voices are way off, and I stopped it, restarted it with the subtitles. Oh, it was Train to Busan was actually that the movie
Oh,
that I
okay.
did that with. I was doing the English dub, and I was like, no, this does not sound right. Those voices are not right for those people, or the inflections, or I don't know, but started over again, but no, I was like that for a long time. So I was just kind of curious. You were saying it sounded like a little bit younger in your life. You
Mhm.
got into it.
Yeah. You know, international family, I guess. My family's Haitian, so we already like I already speak another language. I speak Haitian Creole. So
Okay,
and a little bit of that is French. And so there was a lot of French music growing up. So I was already influenced in hearing different languages and things. So,
sure.
subtitles weren't a problem for me. So I think when I went to Bunker Hill Community College, where I got my theater degree and met my theater friends, they were from Guatemala. They were from Uruguay. One was from Peru. We had one from Canada. And I had a friend from Switzerland. It was just a plethora of people being like, oh, have you seen this? Or have you seen this? Or have you seen this? Or we should watch this. It was just the camaraderie of going to college and meeting new people and meeting different cultures and getting introduced to it. That's how it started. And I love that from my life that I got introduced that way. Because I don't think growing up in my very Christian household that I would have been able to watch Audition or or Irreversible or anything above PG-13.
Well, in my little Iowa farm Christian household, I wouldn't say those would probably fly either from what I know of them, but they would have nothing against international films. But I grew up, I'm older. I grew up in an age where internet was not around for a long time, and you just didn't have access like you do now. And that's the great thing about it now. Like, since I been doing the YouTube thing, but even before that, I was jumping in people's chat and I was hanging out and meeting people, like a lot of the people that are in here right now, saying hi and everything. And I'll get back to that, I promise everybody. But I had so much fun talking. And then you're meeting people, you're talking to people from, they're not necessarily just in your little pocket of the world. And they're throwing out titles of movies that I'm like, I've never heard of that before. And they're like, oh, you should check it out. Look it up now, thanks to internet. And, so you find it streaming somewhere, or you can buy a disc of it and have it come in, and been exposed to a lot more, some different storytelling. And I've really appreciated that. But yeah, I think the age I grew up, it was harder to get exposed to more things like that. And so I guess that's the cool thing now. A lot of it's just right at your fingertips. But
It really is, yeah. And then I'm trying to introduce this to my godchild, a cousin who is graduating, and she visited when she was on her spring break, and her spring break, because she's in California, was in February, and I was just like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Are you sure it's not winter break? I was like, whatever. You don't have winter over there either, so
it's still winter here at February. No.
But anyway, she would come, and the last 2 times she visited, she stayed for a week. And the first time, I was like, "Do you want to watch anything?" And she's like, "Can we watch horror films? Because I can't watch them at home." And I'm like,
yeah, you're like, I was waiting for you to ask me this. I've been waiting for this day.
I know. So I found out that she loved horror films. So I made a list of all the horror films. I was like, here, check off anything that you have seen, and then watch the trail. Go on YouTube, watch the trailers for all the ones.
Tell me which ones you want to see.
Yeah, and tell me which ones you want to see. Oh man, what?
Did you have any that popped out that she really enjoyed?
She did really like Midsommar.
Oh, I still never seen that.
And one that she really didn't like, and upon rewatching it, it is absolutely horrible. There's the Hills Have Eyes, the remake.
Oh. I've seen the original. I've never seen the remake, but I've heard responses like that.
It was god awful.
You're like, why? Why?
Oh, what other one? There was.
You should show her the original now.
Seen. I know. She's graduating this year, so she's not going to be able to come and visit. She's getting ready for college and doing all that stuff. But I know. I was like, well, you know what? I'll make some time with you. You and I can jump on a Discord and watch a movie together.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. You can do something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Use the technology to your benefit. That's what's cool now. Like, well, just you and me sitting here right now talking like this. Like, who would have, I don't know. This is the old guy me talking, but it's like, this is so cool that you can sit and do this. And then we got however many people jumping in here saying hi, in the chat too. So, absolutely I absolutely love this. But I was going to say really quick here. Larry was saying there are ways, Corey. I don't know which one that was for, but we got Dell in here. I was going to say hi really quick, saying what's up. Hey, Dell. Movie Hunter says, I don't like subtitles. When I'm reading them, I miss what's going on. So I will tell you, Movie Hunter, if the dialogue's fast, and I've run across some of them, it's difficult for me. I have always admitted I'm on the slower side of reading. And if the dialogue's just like firing, there's been times where I'm like, pause, back it up, and as I just spill my water.
You okay?
I know I'm fine. If somebody tied my hands together, I wouldn't be able to talk. I swing my arms. No, I'm good. I'm just,
Okay.
I swing my hands around a lot, but I'll take a
I
drink of
can't
it
tell
now
you
that I
the
spilled
number
them.
of times that I have spilled waving my hands around, as you can see it as well. So I feel you.
I, I tell you, I always joke that if somebody tied my hands together, I would not be able to talk at all. So, but anyway, but there are some that I really would have to stop, back it up, and go back through it again. And
Mhm.
yeah, there's just some where the dialogue is going really fast back and forth, but
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, it takes some getting used to. But I
It
like
does.
I still remember that time where I just the voices and the that were dubbed into it just
Mhm.
were not fitting the
Mhm.
the situation.
I've never actually tried to l listen to the dubbed voice when I'm watching a foreign film. We've always just done the default of reading and watching, but, I'm curious to see if I can find the next foreign film, what it would sound like dubbed. I might try
Yeah.
it.
Do it just for an experiment. Yeah. And see
Mhm.
if it annoys you or if you're okay with it or,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because when we watch
absolutely.
our anime, it's what is it? Subbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
We read the subtitles, so yeah.
Like we were saying, Audition is great.
Audition is great.
I've heard some scary things about it. I haven't seen it yet. But everybody's saying Dell's even, we got a lot of love for the Audition. Don't scare me. I might spill my water again or something.
Man,
But
it's too bad I'm not doing a 365 movies I have seen.
I know, right?
You'd be
Oh,
scheduled. I'd be like, we're watching Audition,
yeah,
Corey.
exactly. Whew. I someday I'll see it, but I've heard,
Had the kids, had the wife.
I was going to say, I've heard things. I'll just say that I've heard things. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Jane Doe, Latte in here saying good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Hopefully you were in here to see me spill my water on half my desk, but you know, like I'm really professional most of the time. So, Dell was saying, Corey, we're at the age where we are exposed to the outdoors. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Outdoors and what was immediately around you.
Yes.
I'd say that. So,
Yes.
but Nanette was saying I have put subtitles on all my movies and I learned how to read them and watch the movies. And I've always had subtitles on my movies because I can't hear well. Well,
Wow.
but I know a lot of people that do that too. It's always have the subtitles on. It doesn't matter if it's a different language or not, but
Hmm.
just it helps them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a
With
subtitles
hearing.
house
Yeah.
now. They're always on.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of people that do that. Let me run through here really quick. We got highs back and forth. Uh, Dell was saying I loved subbed for the nostalgia purposes. I will occasionally watch 70s, 80s kung fu flicks
Oh,
dubbed. Okay.
yes.
Got Gizmo in here saying hi to everybody. Good to see you, Gizmo. I have to proofread his comments half the time before I read them. He's a good friend, but he likes to toe the line a little bit, like I see on one of them that he has down there. So be
Oh
careful,
boy.
Gizmo. You get arrested doing that. I'll just say that. So, but okay. So we were talking about the goals for the year and for your
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
I know. So not that you have to have more than trying to take on 365 movies in a year, but do you have any other things you're looking at tackling? You know, like whether it's the channel or movies or books or anything else that you're
Yeah.
taking
So
on?
if we continue with movies, I'm going to try and head out to the movie theater. I really do want to kind of support that thing. And I reached out to Sin actually, and I asked her if she's still doing the mystery movie, the night thing that they do for Regal AMC.
Yeah,
And I might join if I can drive out and see the movie if it's not snowing and it's not bad weather or whatever. And then join on some of those Tuesday streams.
great.
Um,
Well, maybe
really,
we'll get
really
to hang
looking.
out a little bit on that because
I
every
know.
once in a while I get them. I don't have Regal, but I have our chain. They get them sometimes, and I don't have them all the as many as they get. And some we have run into a few times where the movie's different,
Hmm.
but but yeah, so cool. Well, very cool.
Yep.
We'll maybe get to hang out on one of those sometime, or some
Yeah.
of those sometime. But
Yeah.
we actually got one tomorrow night
Yeah.
here. I don't know if I'll be able to join the Tuesday night stream, but I'm kind of excited what I think it might be for tomorrow. So
I tried to guess what it might be too, and I am. What did I guess it was? Oh, hold on. What do you think it might be?
well, and that's the thing. Each theater can be a little different, but from everything
Oh,
mine's throwing out, I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be Primate.
that's what I was gonna say. Yep, Primate.
And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I heard it's a wild one, like carnage galore kind of thing, but in a good
I
way.
haven't seen a trailer for it. I'll have to,
Oh, really?
I'll have to watch the trailer. Yeah, I heard.
Well,
of the movie.
maybe don't even watch a trailer. If you're gonna, are you gonna go see it tomorrow?
I don't know. It depends on
Okay.
if we get 2 feet of snow or not.
Okay. Well, okay, yeah, that definitely can throw a wrench into things. But
Yeah.
I would say if you're gonna go see it anyway, don't watch the trailer. Just go into it knowing it's a horror movie.
Okay.
Knowing it's a horror movie, just go into it. If you're not going to make that one and you're trying to decide to see it later, then yeah, I'd say go for it. But I don't think it really spoils anything. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be kind of a wild one. So
Okay. Oh,
well, good. I'm
excited.
excited to maybe see on some of those. But okay, so you're going to do some of the mystery movies when you can get
So
out to
the mystery
that.
movies. Yeah.
Okay.
Last year, I had the goal. Last year was I really wanted to get back into my reading. I was just like, oh, my vocabulary sucks.
Well, talk to me about that.
So it was reading the books that they were going to turn into movies. It was fantastic, except I got stuck on King. Last year, they decided that they wanted to do everything King. So I started with The Life of Chuck, and I read that and then saw the movie. And then I read The Long Walk and read that and saw the movie. And I was going to read The Running Man and see the movie. But when I was reading The Long Walk, Stephen King decided to spoil The Running Man in his foreword of the book that I was reading. Literally said what the ending was, and he's like, in my other book, The Running Man, where in the end he blah 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 blah. And I'm reading the forward. I'm like,
You're like, spoiler
the-
alert.
what did this man just do? The decibel levels kept going up.
What level did you get to at that point? Were you like, no?
I have to ask my boyfriend.
He probably walked away. It was like, something's wrong.
Probably, yeah. So that stopped, and so now I'm just getting back into the actual reading of itself. So
It was like the year of King, though. Like you were saying,
really
like
was.
there was a lot. The Institute, Life of Chuck, Long Walk, and I'm probably even missing something. But I mean, just that by itself, that's quite a bit diving into. So
Yeah. With it, Welcome to Derry. Watch
Oh,
that
yeah,
television
yeah.
show.
I haven't seen that.
Loved it. Loved it. You want to talk about child actors against the Institute, Corey? Ooh, my God.
Were you like, this is how it's supposed to be done?
This is how it's supposed to be done.
This is how you do it.
But of course, the lore with Pennywise was sort of destroyed a little bit. Well, according to Naughty, it was completely destroyed. So she's like, you need to read the book. I was like, okay. So I'm reading it. I'm back on King.
Oh, I'll reach out to Nadia and tell her to be more positive about. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I always give her a hard time about stuff like that. But no, that's cool.
I'm reading it, and I decided to read The Housemaid as well. I was like, you know what? I really want to read this Housemaid book before I see the movie that everyone's talking about. So
yeah,
those two books are in the cycle of bedtime reading. I read one chapter one night, and then I go to the other book and read the other chapter, and it's fun.
little light reading before you go to bed. You get the yeah, exactly. Well, like leaning into that a little bit. Have you read any books that you wish got a movie adaptation?
I mean, my favorite book is The Giver, and eventually they did put that into a movie, which I think they completely destroyed. But my brother actually loved it to death, and I was just like, okay. I mean, the visuals were great and everything. It has Meryl Streep, Jeff Bridges. I I forgot the kid's name who plays Jonah, but I the, yeah, they did The Giver, and I'll have to rewatch it and see if it was as bad as I remember, not staying faithful to the book. But they always do that when it comes to book to movie translations, and I don't understand why when you have an actual plate in front of you, like a playbook, like
Yeah.
what's so hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
But other
So
books,
maybe you wish there was a redo on that one then?
I do. I wish there was a redo.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can't think of anything else of books that I would have wanted to that I've read that I wanted to like be into movies or anything like that. There's a long period of time where I didn't read, and I'm not like ashamed of it. Life gets in the way and you're
Mm-hmm.
reading school books and not reading actual books, and if you're watching movies all the time, you're not reading books all the time. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you get older and you lean back into your habits, and so now I'm just trying to push those forward. But no, I can't think of anything. The Giver was the first thing that came to mind because it's my favorite book, but otherwise I remember I love Fahrenheit 451, and
Oh yeah.
they did a really good HBO TV
Mm-hmm.
movie-ish miniseries. Michael B. Jordan.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot who was it. Was it Michael Shannon or something? Anyway,
I think
that
that's
was
right.
really good.
Yeah.
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 Some other ones.
That was required reading for us in high school anyway. I think
Yes.
I think that
Yeah.
was one of the books but that was one
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I was in like a very much a sci-fi dystopian state I think for a while where I loved those types of stories, and
Yes.
so that definitely fit into that. But
Yeah. I remember Harry Potter would have been like the book series that brought me back into reading. And then after that, I remember picking up the Hunger Games series because I had just watched Battle Royale.
again, like I said, I need to get the t-shirt made. I own it, but I haven't watched it yet, and I do own that, and I haven't watched it yet. And a couple friends said, oh, you're gonna have fun with that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a good one.
So
Oh, yeah. What
no,
about
that's-
you?
well, and I, like I said, I admitted I'm a slower reader. I've kind of leaned into this audiobooks a little bit, going into that. But that is one of my goals for this year. We were talking about different goals for my media goals. And I know it might not sound like much but for me, I'm going to try to get one book a month in. So
Nice.
either reading or audiobook. And I have some that I've bought from recommendations from friends, both physical books and audiobooks, and I'm going to start with those. So anything I go to, first off, has to be one that I already own that I haven't gotten through yet, and like actually enjoy some of the things that I have purchased. So, but yeah, for this year, I'm going to try to get one book a month in. And for me, that will be about 12 books more than I read last year. So I'll just say that. No, I'm just joking. I did listen to a couple books last year, but it was like a couple. And but I just kind of leaned more into, I love watching a lot of people on YouTube and listen to podcasts and watching movies. And it seems like you said too, time and
Yeah.
you got to sleep sometime too, and that whole thing. But
Yeah.
but I just haven't gotten to a lot of them, and I had some great recommendations. And after they were recommended to me, I read into them first before buying them, and they sounded very interesting to me. So I do have quite a few on here that I wouldn't mind getting to. And speaking of which, when we were doing the Institute series show together, that was one of the audiobooks that I picked up because I wanted to compare it from what that experience was watching the series, because I did
Yeah.
not experience the book, and getting to hear people like you that did. And it sounded like the majority were the book's better. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was one I wanted to dive into. After seeing The Long Walk and Life of Chuck, I wouldn't mind digging into those just to see same, different, whatever. Already know,
Yeah.
not to be any spoilers, but I know there's a difference in the ending on Long Walk. Not to get into that, but
There is, and I won't get into it either.
yeah. but so some of those have piqued my
Mhm.
interest, but there was a few others that that I'd picked up, and yeah. So that's one of my goals is one a month. We'll see if I can get that done.
Do you have do you have them all picked out, or do you know, like, you're done with whatever you're doing now? Let's look at the list. Oh, I'll choose that one for the next one.
Oh, so I do have. I have a group of about I wouldn't have the whole year planned out, but I have a group of about 6 books that I have bought off of recommendations from friends, and those are going to be the first ones I'm going to tackle.
Nice.
So I got at least half the year figured out, and which order we'll see. I mean, a couple of them are in a series, so
Hmm.
I would do them in the right order. But yeah, other than that, I'll have to look up some others, but I wanted to try to tackle those first. And actually, one of the books was a couple that I had on my channel not too long ago, Mad Wolf, and they did a. She wrote the book, and he did the audio book version of it for and
Oh,
so I have that. I purchased after hanging out with them. I love running into people doing creative things on here that I don't know. I'm envious of that. I love seeing people doing that, and like
yeah.
if I can buy a book and help them out, and I get
Hmm.
to experience it too. It's kind of cool to see that. Or if somebody's doing artwork or whatever, it's fun to meet people, see
Yes.
the things
Yeah.
they're passionate about, and get to participate in that a little bit.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Oh, I have a
So
question
go
for
go
you. I
go
know,
for
and
it.
I'm gonna
I'm
say I'm
talking
gonna
way
say
too
mine.
much probably.
No, no, no. And I know this is supposed to be like an interview of me, and I'm like, I
No,
have a question.
this is a chat. We're chatting.
We were talking about movies earlier, hard movies and things like that. And
Yeah.
I wrote down best of 2025 because I've been
Ooh.
watching a lot of people's like best and worst lists and things like that. And that also was kind of like, you know what? I kind of want to have one of those at the end of the year. It would require me to watch movies. So, let's make that a goal. But if I don't get to make one of those best of worst ofs at the end of the year, no skin off my back. But
Yeah.
I would say for last year, 2025, and this was because I was able to watch those 22 horror films in December. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able. I wouldn't have gotten around to it unless I put it on the schedule. The
Right.
movie is The Ugly Stepsister.
I've heard of it. I've not seen that one.
I was. There are some scenes in some movies where you were just like, just like one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that. I was running around my small room just like while the movie's playing. Like it just there's certain that movie took artistic levels that I had to beyond that were just fantastic. I would put it on the top of your list if you can get around to it.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, not a family film, so
Yeah.
just putting that out there.
Yep. That's your
but
public service
very
announcement
much.
for it.
Very good, very good, very good.
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it, and I've heard a couple other people say positive things, like it caught them off guard that they
Yes.
enjoyed it, kind of a thing.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
oh, that's good. I'll check
Yeah.
that out. So, yeah, I always try to keep a pen and something to write on. As long as I'm not spilling water on it, I'll write down the things that I try to follow up on later. But as I'm like
No.
flinging my arms around again as I'm talking, but I do that way too much. But oh, cool. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking through some of mine as well because a friend deleted scenes. He has a
Yep.
YouTube channel. He was asking me, I might be jumping on. I don't think we have a date set yet, but he was like, would you have any interest to talk about 2025 releases you've seen, like top 10, bottom 10 kind of a thing? And I always have a hard time ranking things, but yeah, he was like, yeah, I'll talk about some of those. But because I actually got out to the theater a lot more than I had previous years. So not
Right.
not a ton, but definitely have enough
Right.
to talk about. But that is definitely not one that I saw, but I heard things about. So I'll have to
Yeah.
get to that.
I mean, I've been able to watch all the movies, not get out to the theater as much as I had wanted to, but I
Hmm.
did manage to do it in the beginning of like the year, especially closer to like the summertime is when I really can like go out. When it's winter over here, it's too hard sometimes. So a lot of those December, January, February releases, I have to wait until I can see them on streaming and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
oh, what was I? I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, that's all right. I do that all the
That
time.
happens.
No, I do it all the time. I'll never make fun of you because I'll here in a second. I'll get talking and like go
Oh,
off onto a
I
different.
remember.
Oh, go, damn, shut up. Go.
It was my movies. So F1,
Oh,
Weapons, Sinners, The Ugly Stepsister, and I know everyone's going to hate me, but I loved Thunderbolts. I thought it was fantastic
oh yeah,
film.
yeah.
It wasn't the greatest film, but it was a good film. I
You
really enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it.
I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
No, that was one of my 2025 releases that I saw too, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I'll say that because I was kind of like,
Exactly.
yeah, but no, I had fun with that one, but man, I can agree with quite a few of those. F1 was such a fun summer blockbuster movie, and I know I've had some people who are like, oh, it's your mindless action movie. I was like, I don't care. Like sometimes that's fun, it's just yeah, exactly. How
did
dare
the
you?
music. How dare you?
How dare you speak of my movie that way?
Hans
But
Zimmer did the music. I'm
music is
sitting in the
great.
theater.
Yeah, score
I'm
is
sitting
great.
in the this is me getting closer to the like I'm watching the movie and I'm getting closer. My boyfriend literally has to take my shoulder. He's like, sit back.
There's people
He's like,
sitting
you're
in
not
front of you.
driving.
You're like turning the corners and stuff. And no, I was good. And I think that's one that hit on a lot of different things too. Like you had your action, you had your redemption arc, you had a little bit of, like a love story in there. You had just like, it was a good summer action movie. Yeah. So no, I agree. That was one that I figured I'd like it, but I enjoyed it, I think, quite a bit more. That was when I bought after I saw it in the theater, and then I bought it when it came out because I was like, I can see rewatching that one again. One that kind of surprised me, I just recently watched. I don't know if you've seen it, but Begonia.
Oh, that's on the list. So speaking of Begonia, I try to watch all the movies that the Oscars are going to nominate, so to speak.
Okay.
But the Oscars have kind of been pissing me off. So
You've been ignoring them lately.
I don't know if I'm going to try and I'm going to watch all the movies that are nominated, but I am going to put Begonia on the top of my list to
That
see.
one, and I would say go into it as blind as you can.
Yes, I haven't watched any trailers besides that first one where I know what the premise is. That's it. I haven't seen
That's
anything
okay. Yep, that's kind of like what I had to, and yeah, you're still good. That's definitely a good one to. It was different than I was expecting, but I mean that in a good way. But
And is it Yorgos Lanthimos?
Yeah,
Is that,
yeah.
Okay. It will be my first Yorgos movie, and I know that I have others that are on the list that I have to see. Like I know he did that other one, Emma Stone, Poor Things.
Yeah.
I think he also that's
Yeah, I
on the
believe
list
he-
of
yeah, I believe he
2026
did.
to
Yep.
see this year. But yeah, so if I see Begonia first, that'll be my first Yantos movie.
Yeah, no, it was different than I was expecting, but I don't mean that in a bad way. It was good, but yeah, I'll just say that. I'll stop talking about it. But
Good.
Sin was saying, "Yep, that's for Primate probably
Okay.
for tomorrow night."
Hi, Sid.
Hello, Sin. Always good to see you. All right, I'm gonna try to just do a quick run through here just to make sure I'm not missing anybody. We got Isabel in here saying good evening, everyone. Good to see you. I might miss some of the questions and back and forth. I apologize, but just trying to keep things moving along. But if there is a question I miss it, throw it back out there again and I will try to get to it. Isabel was saying my goal is to read all the books that I have because I buy and don't read them completely. Oh, well, I can say that about some movies on my shelf too. I'm like, oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Or that one looks cool. And yeah, so it's a common problem with, I think, a lot of us that enjoy storytelling in different ways.
Hmm.
Like whether it's a movie or music or a book, like
Yep.
you kind of run into like bringing it in faster than you're getting through it
Yep.
kind of a
Yep.
thing. So
Yep.
that's one of my goals is to enjoy what I got basically more. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
uh, okay. I'm going to run through and just make sure I haven't missed anybody's. Isabel was saying, and my second goal is to start going to more movies because it's really never been my thing. The only movies I'm interested in, like crime scene
Mm,
investigations. That's all right. That's all right.
interesting. So I wonder, do you watch some of the? Well, not you. I wonder if Isabel watches some of those. Harlan Coben. Uh, Harlan Coben is a writer. He's a mystery writer, and Netflix has started to turn a lot of his mystery books into like TV shows and like miniseries and episodic things and stuff like that. So I wonder if she watches some of those things.
Ooh, Isabel, if you're in
Yeah.
here, you have to let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then that was
Oh, it
telling me
is
some
nice.
places I can check out the Ugly Stepsister. So I'll have to, I wrote that down. Thank you, Nanette. I'll have to check that out and see if I can track it down. Holland was said, love that director. Still haven't seen Begonia.
Mm.
I'd say I don't want to hype it up too much because I'm not saying like it's not my favorite of the year, but I enjoyed it and it was a
Mhm.
pleasant surprise. I'll say that,
Mhm.
and I think it's worth checking out. Yeah,
Good.
yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Dell was taken off. Good to see you, Dell. Thanks for jumping in here. And we have Bacon in here. Park and Sip saying, Corey, what up, bro? What up, Rachel?
Hello.
Sin was saying, I decided after I heard that what Poor Things was about that Yorgos, I'm going to try to say, Lanthimos? I probably said it wrong.
Lanthimos. Mhm.
Yeah, was not the director for me. I've never seen Poor Things, but from what I heard about Poor Things, Begonia is different than Poor Things. So I'll just say that. So we'll just say that. Because I've heard Poor Things has lots of stuff that people were like, okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough of those things.
That's enough of that. That's not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Bacon was saying just subbed up for you there.
Oh,
So
thank you.
thanks, Bacon.
Yeah, I've decided like I focus on a lot of the older stuff. So like the movies that are the one of the next segments that I'm going to come out with are some of the movies that are turning 50 this year from 1976, and I'll do a nice little video on that. And I just finished all of the film debuts of 1975, got all those clips. Some of those clips were actually really funny to look up
Yeah.
and find. So this year I'll be working on film debuts of 1976. So yeah, there'll be some things coming on my channel that I'm slowly trying to get it built. As you know, working 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. That stinking real world job stuff gets in the way of doing the fun things you want to do.
So does. And
So annoying.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I could probably even ask my boss and be like, can I just like go on the YouTube like during the daytime, like one day a week? She'd probably say yes and be like, wife, what are you doing?
Well, actually,
Nothing.
I actually do that. So
I could do it during lunch like you
so
do.
yeah, so like my Friday lunch, I take a late lunch and I keep it within my lunch hour. If I go long, luckily mine is flexible enough. I just work longer that day. So I know some people are like, well, how long of a lunch do you have? Geez, Corey, you're still going or whatever. But some days I have it off, but a lot of times I'll keep it to an hour. But if I go over, it's usually not a big deal. I just tack it on at the end of the day. That just means I'm working that much longer at the end of the day. But my Fridays kind of helps me get through that day and start the weekend. But yeah, it's kind of interesting too who can jump in at that time too. So you might hit some people that you don't like tonight at this time. There's some people that can't at this time of night or this type of day. So it's kind of interesting to throw in quite a bit different time of day.
Yeah. And that's the thing about like scheduling the movie club was that I also try to keep in mind when people are having their evening streams and things like that. I don't want to interfere too much, on competing or whatever you want to call it. But if it's the only time, then so be it. But
I'm like that too, but yeah, at a certain point, it's impossible not to have any.
Yep.
There's like some nights where like, well, that's the only night it works. So that's what I
Yep.
scheduled it.
That's
And then
it.
all of a sudden, like four people I wouldn't mind being in their streams, like in the chat of their streams, are having streams at the same time. And I'm like, well, crap,
Same time. Yeah.
it's just,
That's the
well,
way it is
how it works
sometimes.
out.
And yep. And they're all recorded and we can all go back and watch and
Oh
support each
yeah.
other when we're done. And that's how it is.
That helps me get through my workday. I listen to a lot of
Yep.
people's live streams later on
Yeah.
those things.
So someone had asked me earlier, how are you going to watch 365 movies? I was like, listen, sir, you see this chair? My butt is planted firmly in this thing for like 16 hours a day. There's a 30, no, 40, 50-inch TV right here to my side that I literally can just watch movies on. I don't have anything to do.
You got it taken care of.
I work and watch movies.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. Sin was always so making fun of me because she said, I'll check out The Ugly Stepsister in about 5 to 10 years. I was under a year, Sin. Thank you very much for Black Phone. I might have been pushing it, but it was under. It might have been the 6 months.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yep. Give me a hard time. Give me a hard time.
You know, I try not to. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, Harlan Coben on Netflix has been phenomenal. Yeah, he's got some really good crime mystery stuff. So
Love it. But what were you going to say?
I don't remember.
About me taking forever to watch things?
Oh,
I'm on a 5-year plan. I'm on
I
a
know. Oh, yeah.
I'm just making sure I didn't miss it. Oh, we got another sub there for you. Look at that.
Thank you.
And said she was going to jump back in a little bit, but no, absolutely. I'll say another, that's the thing. I think part of my goals was to dig into more things that I actually have, use what I got, that I already purchased, or even streaming services that I am paying for, like utilizing them more. So like one of my other ones for a goal was to go through and listen to one full album a week, front to back, no skipping. And I was digging back into my vinyl records and most of them I've listened to and I've heard them before. I don't usually blind buy vinyl. Like it's stuff I've heard, but maybe I haven't revisited it for a long time, and or sat and just listened to the whole album. So I'm going to tell myself I used to enjoy doing that a lot, and it just seemed like time got away from me and I just didn't do it as much. But I can, just like watching a movie, I used to like just throwing an album on and listen to the entirety of it. So
That was my goal.
And to focus on what I got. Yep.
So that was my goal 2 years ago. I
Okay.
decided, because I remember writing it down in my calendar. I was looking at my Spotify one day and I was just like, how come I only like this one song? Like there must
Right.
be, have I listened to this album? So then I was like, okay, that's it. I'll make it a goal for 1 month. I'll listen to the entire discography of like either one song that I love from an album and see if I like them,
Yep.
or just like listen to an artist that I know I love and to listen to their whole discography. I found some new ABBA songs that I love.
Hey, there you go.
I found some new 21 Pilot songs that I love. Like it was just like amazing for me to do that little project, and it was so fun. Did you end up finding new music as well?
Well, I'm just starting it for this year. So the first one was an album they just re-released it on vinyl. I've heard it before. I had the old CD from when it originally came out, but I hadn't listened through the whole thing for a long time. So I sat down and listened. It was Letters to Cleo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's oh gosh, now I'm blanking on the album name, but their big hit that came out, the Aurora Borealis or something like that.
Yes.
I might have said that. Here and Now was like the big song off of that was on the radio all the time. So that friend of mine, Martinez Joe show, he let me know that we're pressing that on vinyl again, and I don't know if it really ever had a widespread release on vinyl. So I was like, oh, thank you very much. I was like, I have the old CD, and he's like, me too. And he's like, I'm going to go get it too. And so anyway, I ordered it. It came in. So I was like, what better way to kick it off? I just got it like last month, and if I bought it, let's listen to it. And so, yeah, this weekend I put it on the turntable and just sat, and the only time I got up was to flip over the record and listen to the
Nice.
other side of it, you know? So,
Hmm.
and I put the phone away, TV was off, and just sat there and listened to the music. And so that was the first album for this
Hmm.
for this week. So yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely want to explore some other music, but some of it too is like, okay, I have just like movies. I don't have as many, but I have vinyl records that I haven't listened to in a while, and just dust them off, throw it back
Yeah.
on there, listen to it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's another goal for me this year.
Yeah. That's fun. Maybe I'll try to sprinkle. I already have too many goals.
Well, I posted mine, and I appreciate them, because I honestly was kind of thinking the same thing. Some people, it's funny when you post goals. I know I'm all over the place here, but like sometimes I'll have people say like, okay, that's not much of a goal. And then I have other people like, don't burn yourself out, Corey, kind of a thing, like in
Hmm.
all sincerity, they're just like, don't
Yeah,
take on
that's
too.
true.
And, so it's kind of funny how people react when you say like goals. So I hope these are reasonable ones that I put on here. I mean, I'll have to keep up with
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see. But man, I can't get over your 365. I don't know if I've ever since I kept tracking how many movies I watched a year, I don't think I've hit that many before. Have you hit that many or come close to it before? Or I
I
don't know what
mean,
your normal watch schedule like.
over our lifetime, I'm sure you've watched that many.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking like in a year.
Oh, in a year. No,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
would be my first time ever doing something like this.
yeah. That many in a year.
Yeah, I would say,
Yeah.
let's see, if I were to think how many movies do you like normally see in a year, what when I was living in Boston and I could walk 20 minutes to my Regal, I was there every weekend. So that's at
Nice.
least, 50, 52, depending on holidays or whatever was coming out or not. So at most 40 movies in a year, like,
Yeah.
you know, but my goodness, no, this is a big undertaking, and I'm excited because
Oh, absolutely.
I just people look at the list and they're like, I got some good ones on there, and I'm like, yeah, I still haven't put Lethal Weapon on there. Someone's asked me, I was like, no, I haven't seen Lethal Weapon, and I double checked my 2026 list. I was like, did I put it on there? It's not even on there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get yelled at.
Well, I know Johnny was saying you had some great ones on your
No,
list. So, hey, just do what you can. I was gonna say, as long as you're still having fun with it and enjoying it,
yeah.
that's all that matters.
That's the fun part. Again, just bringing it back to what I saw today. My first Clint Eastwood Western from
Yeah,
1976. This
yeah.
handsome man.
Look at you, cowboy.
It was a nice movie, and it was,
Oh, it's a good movie. Yeah, it's a good
such a,
movie.
yeah. So I'm excited to just see what artistic differences and from all over the world. I got movies from all over the place. There's Japanese films, there'll be Indian films, there'll be Italian, and there's some German and Russian, and there's Spanish, and there's definitely Portuguese in there. Like I really
You're just hitting
uh,
up all
I
of it.
took the time to all of it because the AI would bring back the normal
Oh
American
yeah, yeah,
movies,
yeah, yeah.
and I was like,
Like the top 20.
exactly
Like
the
I've heard
very
of all of them, and I want to hear some that
exactly.
I haven't heard of.
Yeah,
Kind
so
of
it
a
took a
thing. Yeah.
little bit of coaxing with the AI to be
Yeah.
like, I've seen these. Here's what I want you to do. And I know that I even had to tell it, I'm like, I know you don't know what I've seen, so I'm going to help you out with that.
Yeah. And it's okay if it's not on everybody's top 20 list or something like that. Like it's
Exactly.
okay if you suggest something that is not on top of every list, and
Hmm.
not from my country, kind of a thing. So,
Yeah. And a lot of my decisions, like I said, I would base it off of reading the description, watching a little bit of the trailer, seeing the numbers. If I was still mixed up on like what choices I want to do for a specific day, if there was actually like two good movies that I wanted to like pick for that day, I would then scroll down on IMDb and read some of the actual user reviews and just see what the
Oh yeah.
first two numbers of the user reviews are, and just, pick it from there. Some of them were easy. If I was having a decision to make and I scroll down, there'd be 2 9s. The other movie would have 2 7s. I'd be like, 2 9s win.
9s beat 7s.
Yeah,
Like playing cards or something. So
exactly.
oh no, I love that. Do you have anything so I got to go out and look at your list now too, after especially Johnny is talking about that. I need to bring that up and read
Yeah,
through
if you
that.
want, you can bring it up, or I can share
Or do
calendar with you.
if you want to share it, go ahead. I was just curious if you had one lined up for your next one to watch, or how you come about. How do you know which is going to be the next one? Do you feel it out, what you feel like, your mood, or do you have it like lined up? This is going to be the next one that I'm watching.
It's based on the national day of the calendar. So
Okay.
that's pretty much all how it's done. Okay, here we go. Share.
Let me see if I can bring it up here.
Share. What am I sharing? Oh, share window. Share.
Come on,
Here it is.
technology.
That one. There we go. Okay,
All
I
right.
am sharing that.
I don't know. Is that all right? I
Okay.
have bad old man eyes. I'm having trouble seeing it, but I'm going to take your word for it. So you tell me what we're looking at.
Does that make it any better?
Oh yeah, but I mean, everything is so much smaller than I don't have.
Oh, yeah.
Like full screen on my thing, so it's just me squinting. But yeah, go for it. Look at that. You got it all planned out there.
Yeah. New Year's Day, science fiction day. So I watched Westworld for the first time. That was really fun. Yesterday was the Festival of Sleep Day. So this was The Dream Life of Angels, a 1998 film, French film, about this girl who wanders. She's just like a wanderer, and she meets another wanderer, and it's it's in France, and she goes from like job to job, and it was just like a story of what happens when you don't have purpose in life. It was boring, but again, I watched it because it had gone to the Cannes Film Festival in 1998, and you're like, well, what is this movie all about? And it was just about French women who had nothing to do in their lives, and I'm not going to ruin the ending, but
Yeah, don't spoil that one for me. That sounds. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
So-
I'm joking. And if you see me looking off to the side, I blew it up on another screen like here, so I am
Okay.
I am still looking and paying attention, but I'm kind of probably looking off to the side where I can read it a little bit better. But
Yeah.
oh wow, yeah, you do have quite a few. There's quite a few I haven't seen that I do want to see on here as well. Pig is one that I own and I haven't watched yet. I see that coming up on the 15th.
You can join me on
Well,
my
I was gonna say-
birthday.
Maybe I could do that for the 15th, but
Yeah.
that's the Nicolas Cage one, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I was thinking of the right one.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about that, and so I bought it, and I have not watched it yet. Like I said, I'll make t-shirts coming soon with that on there. But ooh, so
yeah.
when you look at this, you got the whole month of January planned out. Obviously, are there any that you obviously want to check them all out, but are there any that you're really looking forward to that you're just like, man, this is one that I have had on the list for a long time and I've heard things about. I really want to watch this. And it can be more than one too. It can be more than one.
For the month of January, I will tell you Snowpiercer, because when I first met boyfriend, we were, talking about movies, all this different stuff. I was like, oh no, I've never seen Snowpiercer. He's like, I hated the ending.
Man,
And I was like,
I know he's talking about.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So when, this project came about, and the first thing that AI helped me with was New Year's Day, and one of the movies was Snowpiercer, I was like, oh, this AI is after my heart, man.
So did
AI has probably heard the conversation that we just had.
Oh, okay. That's a whole nother stream we could talk about.
know.
I've had so many instances like that where I'm like, that's too much of a coincidence. Like,
Thank you.
to not be listening to me all the time or something. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, did he rewatch it with you when you watched it?
So he came in towards the end.
Okay.
And he's he's
Was he like, I still hate the ending?
Yeah, because I didn't like the ending either, because
Yeah.
I'm watching it with him and I'm like, huh, wait, 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 wait. I just kept saying, wait, what?
You're like,
That was, and I was
no.
just like, no, okay, because it was Bong Joon-ho that did
Yeah.
this movie, and then
Yeah.
right after this, I think was Parasite, or maybe not. Maybe he had something in between this and
I
Parasite,
don't know,
but
but I had a lot of hopes for that one because of him
you had
from
a
some
lot
of
of
the
hopes.
earlier movies that I've seen of his that I liked. And
See, I had a lot of hopes for Mickey 17 because of
mm,
Parasite.
mm-hmm.
I saw Parasite 3 times. Ah, my God, I love that movie. But anyway, so yes, the National Day calendars. And so
I
tomorrow
like
is
that.
going to be Rare Birds celebrating National Bird Day.
Look at you. That's like way more planning than I would ever do on,
Yeah.
on this. I'd just be like, I haven't seen the movie before. I'll put it on that day. Wow. Look at you going for that. I love it. I'm just sorry. I'm just kind of reading through, but
Yeah.
man, the
Pig is
peanut butter,
one.
the peanut butter falcon.
Yeah.
That's a feel good. I like that one.
Okay, good.
That one. That's a feel good one. I can go back and watch that one. And some people, I know, I'm not saying greatest movie ever, but it's just like one of those. It hits you in the feels a little bit, or at
Oh,
least it
good.
did for me anyway. So I'll say that.
Um,
But Pig,
yeah.
I've seen stuff on that. I've heard people talk about it. That's one I definitely want to get in watched here sometime.
Mhm.
I heard that was like one of those redemption things for Nicolas Cage, where he was doing all these like
Yeah. Indie weird
yeah,
movies.
or just like straight to video type. And I'm not gonna make fun of him. I don't get any offers like that, so I'm not gonna ever talk
Right?
down on anything like that. But I think some people said when they saw that, they were like, "Wow, that kind of was a different side they weren't expecting." Like he really brought it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But
Really excited to see. So it's like the
yeah,
popular ones that are on here, I definitely want to
and
check out. Like,
you've never seen any of these?
never seen Election. I've never seen the original Pet Cemetery. I saw the remake, and apparently Nadia's not happy that I saw the um,
I was
the
just curious.
Gentleman.
The
Everyone was
Gentleman, you never
talking
seen
about the
that?
jump. Never seen. Never
Never seen
got
it?
around to it. We really
Witness?
wanted to watch it. Never saw Witness.
Oh, you get some.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Johnny was saying, you got
Some
some
really
really
There's
good
only
ones.
one movie on here that I think I've seen, but I put it on here because A, I don't mind watching it again, and B, I will definitely remember if I have or have not seen it. And if I haven't, then I get to watch it. It's on the 28th. It's called Cachet.
I
It's a
don't know if
French
I know.
film. It's got Juliette Binoche in it, and it's a mystery. And I think I've seen it, but I don't remember if I've seen it or if I just remember seeing a lot of trailers surrounding it. So I put it on the list.
So the 30th or the morning of the 31st, I gotta send you a message and see if you're doing okay after
If I'm
Martyrs.
doing okay after Martyrs. You see, at least it's on a Friday.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that way you can like sleep in the next day and be like,
Yeah, exactly.
no, I've heard things. Yeah, no, that's a wow. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got a lot of good ones on
yeah.
there. So do you have the whole year planned out?
The whole year is planned out.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Wow. So one of my other goals I'm doing this year was a friend of mine, Huck. He's got a channel Huck's Pop Culture Cafe, and he's doing a 52-week movie challenge where each week there's like a theme, and you pick
Oh,
a movie to fit that theme. And so that was one of my goals, is to try to keep up with that, because I've always watched him and some of my other friends, like Johnny was in here and Jeff was in here. They've done that. And anyway, it sounds like a lot of fun. And he kind of comes up with each week what the theme is. So like, I think the first one coming up starting today. So it's like goes from Sunday to Saturday. So this is officially the first week of it. So like the first movie is, it has to be, the title is a number, but it can't be spelled out. It has to be the actual
oh, like Three Amigos.
numeral. I don't even know if Amigos would fit in that. So like 300,
Oh,
but like
okay.
300, it can't be spelled out, kind of a thing. Or what's the one, 100 and something hours, or
127 hours.
yeah. So I don't even know if that one will work. I have to figure out which one I'm watching. So I'm actually to err on the side of caution. I'm going to do one that's just a number, but it has to be. He was specific. It can't be spelled out. So like the movie Seven.
Oh,
So like seven
no
is
good.
spelled out. No, it's
Gotcha.
got to be like. Or like there's a baseball movie I like. It's called 61. It's 6-1. There's asterisk, so like that would probably count. Or
Or 42.
42. There you go. So yeah. So and then there's like one.
Would you
and
see the third baseball movie? That's a number.
yeah, there you go. But there was a yeah, and so each week there's a different theme, and it'll like go all over the place, and it's a good way to. And I'm going to try to. I know a lot of them. I'm not being original here. A lot of them do that, like Huck and Jeff and Johnny. They try to hit unwatched movies in their collection to fit in with that too, to get use what you got. So I was going to try to do that too, but like one week could be like watch a black and white film, or watch a international film, or it's all over. There's a whole list, and I have it somewhere. But
That's awesome.
yeah, so it's like a fun way to little challenge and like to get you digging through some movies and maybe watching some, even if you don't own them. Like maybe watching something you normally don't. Like it could be like watch one that came out in the before 1950, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, but I'm just making stuff up. But yeah, there you go. Movie Hunter was saying 1917. Yeah, right there.
1970. Oh, yeah, I loved that movie. Oh, that was such a good movie.
Is it really, Johnny? Maybe I looked at the list wrong. He said week 1 is a Rob Reiner film, Corey. Apparently I got to pull the list up again. Thank you, Johnny. I will realign what I was going to watch for this week. So, yeah, I'm bad at keeping up with things. So thank you, Johnny, for keeping me honest on that. But yeah, it's just a different way to keep on.
Yeah.
Sin was saying she was annoyed that Parasite won Best Picture for 2017 didn't.
Yes, I think she meant 1917.
1917. Okay.
But you know what? I agree with that because I believe Parasite was also nominated in Best Foreign Film. And won. I'm not sure. If you've won in foreign film, you should not win for Best Picture.
It's like one or the other.
I believe it's one or the other.
Yeah. You tell them. Tell them.
I'm sure that there's some sort of like deeper conversation that could probably be had where they could change my mind or they're seeing both sides. But
do you think a movie should be able to win both?
Well, see, the thing is, if the Oscars were held in a different country, would they say the same thing about us? Our American film would be considered a foreign film, and then would they also nominate it in Best Picture?
I gotcha.
So, yeah. I'm trying to see it from like another country's point of view and how that would work as well. And I don't know. I personally think if you're in one category for foreign film, you're in an American, quote unquote, like programming and things like that, where while we're trying not to be the center of the universe, we are when it comes to Hollywood and things like that.
We think we are.
We think we are.
Yeah, we think we are.
So, that's
sure enough, I brought the list up. Johnny was correct. I need to shuffle around and watch a Rob Reiner film for the first week. No, that's okay. I have it'll probably be a rewatch, but one that I bought a physical release for, and I haven't rewatched it since I bought that one. So I figure that's a good, even if I've seen the movie before, if I haven't actually used the disc that I bought, that I'll do that. So, but yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, I'm looking at the list now. Sorry, not to go way into that, but then the next week is a one-word titled movie. So it's just got one word in the title. So like things like that, it makes you think about it. There you go. Yeah, so that would work. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if he's still in here, but I've already pegged one for that because Gizmo, my fun friend that makes me proofread his comments. I got a recommendation, a movie from him that I have not watched yet. So that one fits for that. It has one. So if he's still in here, Gizmo, I'm gonna watch Gunda. We're gonna do that one for it. So anyway, so I'll get an international film in there too. So
yeah. That's such a fun goal. That's a good one. That's a good one.
And he
Having up
came
the
up with some
different
pretty
rules.
creative, yeah, some
Those are
pretty creative
creative.
one too. Yeah, there's
Nice.
some different ones. It makes you go into a big mix of things.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
so
I actually don't remember what got me started. Oh, I remember what got me started. I have one of my books, and it said that someday was like National Sticker Day, and I was like, National Sticker Day? What kind of stupid national day is that? So then I remember going online, looking it up, and then finding this website that was nationaltoday.com, and they listed like every single
oh yeah,
ridiculous
there's like
national holiday.
donut day, and then there's
Donut
like yeah,
Day,
yeah.
chocolate chip cookie day. You can see the list.
So please
And
don't
I putting it
please
together.
please don't tell me the January 15th where you picked pig. It's like National Bacon Day or something like that. Please don't tell me that or something. It's pork chop
No,
day or something.
no. It was my birthday, my choice. That's what I decided to
Oh,
call it.
okay.
That's
Okay.
the holiday.
Well, there you go. Hey, what better holiday to? So that's one
Yay.
you've had on the docket to watch for a while then?
Yes,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about Mandy. I remember hearing a lot of things
Oh,
about
yeah.
a lot of Nick. We watched that one he did with Pedro Pascal, The
Oh,
Unbearable Massive Weight of Talent.
yep. Yep.
Loved it. And then people started talking about Pig, and I just never got around to it. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do for my birthday? Got it. Because Dream Scenario actually helped me pick out Pig because
I
I
need to
was like,
watch that one too. I've heard good things about that.
it's coming up on the 7th.
I saw that on your list there. Yeah, you gotta. You know what would be really fun if you want to get like really in the weeds of figure out like an actor or a director that pops up most for the whole year for all these that you're watching. Actor, actress, director, like who just randomly, now that you're not thinking about it, like when you go
I
back and
know.
look at it, it'll almost be
I
kind of
know.
cool to be like, oh wow, Nick Cage was in this many movies that I watched this year from this challenge. But do you ever
I
do
mean,
Letterboxd?
yes, I am on Letterbox. Yeah, I actually that helps me a lot with
That will tell
using
you.
Letterboxd on my birthday. Actually,
That will tell you. It's fun to look back at that. And I thought, am I following you? I got to look at that. Sorry, I'm sidetracking. Do you care if I ask what you are under on Letterboxd, as I ask in front of everybody else on live
Elder
stream?
Moliere.
How'd you come up with the name? Can I ask you that while I'm looking you up on here?
Yes, actually. Most people really think that I'm young.
You're
Like
younger
really
than
young.
me. You're younger than me.
I am younger than you, but not by much. And I always have people guess my age. You go ahead, guess the age, and I'll tell you what it really is. But I'll tell you the story. So when people guess my age, they're always guessing too young, and that's the hint.
My
And so,
grandfather, my
yeah.
grandfather told me a long time ago, never guess a woman's age. He's
So,
like, just don't do it. And so I went to honor my grandfather's wish, and
I
I will
respect
not.
that.
I will say I feel you're quite a bit younger than me. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, he's like, nope, stay away from it. Stay away from it. There's nothing. No, I'm just kidding. But no, he was always kind of joking around about stuff like that. And he's like, don't ask that, kind of, like you don't ask that
Yeah.
person that question, kind of a thing. So,
Um,
but you
but this was
obviously you're giving away a little bit when you're saying millennial.
it's true. So people, whoever these people are that decided to label Gen X, Boomers, the generational terms, they never decided where they wanted to fit 1981. We used to be Gen Y. Then we were Zennials. Now we're part of like the millennial people. And so I was like, no. I'm an elder millennial. Okay. And then I was like, there's my title.
There you
There's
go.
my channel.
No, I like it. I love
Yeah.
that. It's more creative than mine, so I love that. But yeah, I'm smack dab in. Well, I'm probably on. I'm not the youngest side of it, but maybe on the bottom half of the Gen Xers. So yeah, you got the X is the best, right? Or,
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
every
X is
gen,
the best.
every no, I wouldn't say that.
X
But
is the. I think the saying was X is the best. This is why will fly. We
there
were
you go.
Generation Y, so we were supposed to fly.
but not happening.
Nah, we're flying now.
How long did it, honestly, like go back to your list here? Cause I still am like, it boggles my mind. You got this all planned out. Uh,
I should bring up the whole year.
how long did it take you to put this all together? Like, when did you start putting this together?
So I would say I definitely had a plan in place in November of last year. So starting with then, I would say every day in December, and considering that I just finished, or excuse me, I'm currently doing December of 2027, so I'm almost done with 2027's list already. Uh, it usually just takes about a month for me to do a year.
You're scheduled out through next year.
Yes.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going to wear tomorrow morning. And you know what you're going to watch for the next 2 years about, basically. All right. Props to you. I'm like, I don't even know if I have clean clothes tomorrow. I got to figure that out after I get done with this. So,
It's just, it was right researching so many movies, and there's like so many that I saw. There's one called Tokyo Grandfathers that I'm going to schedule for Christmas Eve because it looked amazing, and I already have stuff for Christmas Eve on this year. But I just was like, when I saw the movies that I was leaving out, I was like, I'm going to forget them. I might as well schedule them
just put
now
it on
since
there.
I
Yeah.
have the time. And now that I'm 2 years out, I'll take a break and get back to actual life. But it took, with the help of AI, it takes about a month to do a year.
Oh, I believe that. That's, yeah. And you're finding in all of them are first time watches?
All of them are first time watches.
All right. Awesome. That's a great way to broaden your movie viewing knowledge, I should say. But wow.
If there are any exceptions, I make sure that I let people know. Like if I'm watching my favorite Christmas movie on Christmas, obviously not a new movie.
Oh, sure. But I think this is a great undertaking to like broaden what you've seen, but I think everybody's got certain times a year. There's a certain movie that you're just like, it's just this time of year, I got to watch this one again, kind of a, like, it's a kind of a comfort or whatever you want to call it, but it's just each year, like sometimes, like whether you can, we were just talking about that the other day, whether you think it's, so I had a live stream with, like Sin was on there and Anthony and Ashley, and we were talking about it doesn't have to be called a Christmas or a Thanksgiving movie, but this time of year, do you have some that you just naturally go back to and want to watch again? And, it could have been a horror movie, or it could have been a comedy, or it could have been a drama or whatever, or it could have been a straight out like Christmas movie, but they're just, this time of year, you're just like, oh, I kind of want to go back and watch that. So I think everybody's got some of those, and
Yeah,
you can't blame me for wanting to revisit those things. So
no. Christmas Eve is Charlie Brown Christmas along with Muppet Christmas Carol, and Christmas Day is The Family Stone.
So I haven't seen Muppet Christmas Carol for ages, and Nadia was talking about that. I think she said that was like an annual watch at their house, and so I need to go back and revisit that one just for the heck of it. Yeah. But actually then funny thing, I think even just today I had somebody talking about, I think they were just talking about that. They said their kids watched it so much they thought it'd be fun to let them watch it. They have really young kids, and they couldn't get the Muppets 12 Days of Christmas song out of their head or something like that now because
I was singing it too after we were watching it. I was singing it around the kitchen. It was like, am I singing the Muppet song? I am singing the Muppet song.
Yep. They're like, I can't get it out of my head now. I thought it would be so fun to introduce them to this movie, and now they want to keep on watching it. And then now
if I think about it hardly, I can probably sing it again, but it's out of my head now. Christmas is over.
On to the next movie. But
I know. I have to tell you, speaking of the year done, you're going to laugh. You're going to think it's quite amazing. The month of October.
Yeah.
Every day's a horror film.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
I made sure to I added specification with AI. I was like, can we try to make every day in October a horror film that also aligns up with a national holiday that also does Sundays that are from 1976? Done.
Well, interesting.
Very excited.
Maybe I'll have to play around with that and come
Yeah.
up with some
I'm
stuff. But
hoping I can get Nadia to join some. I know that she stopped her channel-ish, but
yeah,
maybe by October she'll be able to come back and join some of these horror things that I haven't seen yet. So
I already told her I'm going to bug her. I said she's too fun not to have on a live stream.
it's
So
too fun.
I said that's fine and dandy, but I'm going to bug you, and you're going to have to come on my channel. No, I was like, if you don't feel like it, that's fine. But I was like, I will ask you every once in a while, and no obligation. But you're too fun to hang out with to not have you around every once in a while. So, but I can understand. It's kind of like one of those things, life and time. We were talking about that, you know, being able to watch all our movies, doing live streams on a YouTube channel, that takes a lot of time. And
It really does. It really does.
Sometimes you got to focus on some other things that are, you know, taking precedence at the time. So, which you got to respect that, you know, I think it's all for the, like, she's doing it for the betterment of herself. And,
Yes.
but I said, I am going to bug you. I'm going to ask you to come on the channel sometime. So
Yeah. And it is hard too. Like I remember when first starting this channel, I didn't know how to edit anything. I'd never seen editing software in my life, right?
Edit. what is this word you're saying to me? No. Maybe that's why I live stream all the time.
I know people are like, that's why I live stream all the time. I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. No, I have so much fun live streaming anyway, with like seeing people like jumping in the chat. But yeah, I can't say that I've really dove into the editing thing very much. But speaking of like enjoying live streams, sorry, I'm gonna like run through just real quick and say hi. Tiana was in here saying hi everyone, and whether you're still in here, I know I'm way behind probably, but thanks for jumping in. I'm gonna go really quick, and then Sin was also agreeing with you. Hated. What's up here?
It started off strong and then it ended way poorly. And then I find out that it's based on a French graphic novel from 1982. And I'm like, oh, they were the writers too of the film. And I was like, bro, you were the ones who wrote this. What happened? You just anyway. Sorry, I should write a review.
No, it's crazy like that. And that was saying, yeah, exactly. She says, I'll be talking to my grandma, and the next thing I know, I'll get notification about the thing we had been talking about. And my grandma says that my phone is listening to us.
They are.
It is. Like all of a sudden, like I'm no joke. I had that happen so many times. We'll be talking about something, and like anywhere from like a couple hours to the next day, I'll get like an ad. I'm like, that's what we just, and it won't be like some really common thing. And all of a sudden it pops up and it's like,
yep.
Yeah. They're always listening. Holland said Corey's looking at the wrong list. Yeah, probably. No, I probably just read it wrong. Actually, I did bring up the list again, and I never doubted Johnny. He's correct. I was thinking the one I was talking about is on there, but apparently it's not till March. So yeah, I was mixing things up a little bit for the numerical one, but yeah, and Movie Hunter was saying 1917. Yeah, that definitely would work. Oh, for Rob Reiner, I think Sin was saying for Misery. Yeah, that would be one. Gunda, not Adore. Yeah, Adore would work for that too. Which one, Holland? I got to do Gunda. Gizmo's giving me too much of a hard time that I haven't gotten around to that one. So I gotta do that. Johnny was saying Huck is making all of us go see Avengers Doomsday for one of the week's movies when it comes out to the theater.
You know, I don't know if I'm excited.
I hope it's okay.
Sort of excited because my brother's a normie. So like if we talk about these things, I try not to be so like, you know, feeding him the back information that all of us, you know, content creators know and read all the articles. And he doesn't know any of that stuff. Like he just focuses on the story and things like that. So yeah, I try to remain positive and things like that. I enjoyed Fantastic Four. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't I actually really enjoyed Thunderbolts more than Fantastic Four. So of course I'm going to give Doomsday a try, but they ended everything in Endgame. They really did.
Yeah, but they want to make some more money, so they're going to go at it again. So, Sin was saying dream scenario is really depressing.
Really? That's weird because the trailer makes it seem so like mystical, upbeat, like he's in everyone's dreams. Yay!
Oh, I still need to check that one out. Sin was saying also Criticless, like their site a bit more than Letterboxd. So I think I'm going to start using that more exclusively. I'll have to
Yep,
check
I'm
that out.
on
I
Criticless as well.
have to check that out more. I know you,
Yeah.
I've heard of it, and I know Sin, you've mentioned it before. I'll have to check that out. Movie Hunter was saying loved Cage in Bringing Out the Dead, which I've never seen, and I actually saw it popped up on one of the streaming services I have, and I'm blanking on which one, but I marked it on my watch list because I've heard so many people get excited about that when it finally got a release other than DVD, because I think it was out of print for a long time.
Oh, really? Okay, no, I've never seen this. 1999. Scorsese film. Oh God. Haunted by the patients he failed to save, a monumentally burned out Manhattan ambulance paramedic fights to maintain his sanity over 3 increasingly turbulent nights. Never seen it. Oh,
I've
okay.
heard it's like pressure cooker of one. You know?
Okay.
Like
See, I'm going to start on
anxiety
2028. No, I'm kidding.
There you go. We're gonna get 3 years planned out here. As
but it
Corey
is
tries to
something
figure out what shirt he's going to wear tomorrow.
It is something that I'll write down. So, and then when I'm going through like lists or whatever, I'll be like, didn't I write a movie down? And then I'll find it somewhere. So I have a list of movies that I also like add just to like on a notes thing. Yeah. Just in case anyone's like, you should see that. And I worst memory ever. If I don't have a pen and a notepad like in my hand,
I tried to always, like I said, I've already written down a couple things that we've talked about, and I almost always am sitting here with like, yep, we got the pen, we got something to write on. I usually have a pad of paper, but I'm also notorious of writing on anything. So it could be like on a bill envelope, it could be on a sticky pad, it could be on whatever, but I'll write it on something. But
what got that lovely habit from my father?
Yep, exactly.
Everything. It was just turn the back of a letter. There's notes, everything.
Yep. Holland says, I would say Corey is twice as old, so half of 80. Saying you're half of 80. Half of 80.
I think he's saying yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm definitely. Is he saying I'm 80 and you're 40? I don't know. Holland, you speak in riddles, and I don't know what you're speaking of.
I thought that maybe he was doing a play on the I'm half as old as I look, and I look as half as old as I think.
Oh, maybe that's what he was doing, and I just didn't get it. Well, that definitely was probably the case there, but we were always joking, and I've seen somebody do a meme of this. They said this was texting before cell phones, and it was the backside of an envelope of a bill, and your parents would write like a note and set it next to the phone on the wall or whatever and they would write like, you need to clean up this mess before I get home, kind of a thing.
Yes,
they were like, that was texting before.
Yes, they did.
Yep. There you got another follower on Letterboxd.
Nice. Thank you.
Johnny's following you. He was also saying, you're born in 81. You're one of our Gen Xers.
They've labeled me a millennial. Apparently 1981 to whatever year ends it is millennial. And I was just like, that's a large chunk. I don't think so. I went online, and apparently the small percentage of us that are 79, 80, 81, and 82 are called Zennials, because we're that 4-year period where we
they don't know where they want to put you.
Like, they don't know where we belong, because we had like phones and before the internet, but then also had cell phones and then had the internet. So
interesting.
We were like a weird period, but I was like, that's too much. No one knows what a Zennial is. Stop that. So that's fine.
You were getting some props from Sin. She says, you're so dedicated with the movie schedule thing. I envy you.
Thank you. Thank you. It helps if you have no life.
Whatever. No, it's just like, but okay. I think that's a great idea. Whether you can do 3 years, joking, but to schedule out, like, these are ones I want to watch, and this is what I'm going to watch. Like, you don't waste any time then. So if you know, like, that day, that's what you want to watch. That's what you're going to watch that day. You go grab that movie, or you bring it up on the streaming, or however you're going to watch it. And you don't waste a half hour like I do, like looking at this or like scrolling through a streaming service, like literally, and
Yeah.
wasting so much time. You just like, this is the one I'm going to watch, and you put it in and
Yeah.
or bring it up and watch it. I think it probably
Decisions
saves
made.
you a lot of time.
Yeah, I find it really fascinating that it was an easy task for me to do, but I'm wondering if it's just because I'm so like an organizational person that I love my journals and my notebooks and writing things down and having sort of like pens and pads and papers and things like that. But yeah, it was really fun and I hope to keep up with it. I really do.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing the day of is figuring out what time am I going to watch this movie.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Because
You know what
that's
you're
the
going to
only thing.
watch, but when am I going to watch it?
Yeah,
Kind of a
that's
thing.
the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. No, it just sounds like you're like one of those people like somebody's going to hire you to like get their life in order. Like I'll pay you to come in and get me organized. Like, please help
Yeah.
me. You know, like you'll be the
Yeah.
organizer that comes in and like, this is what you got to do and like get you all set
For
up.
my
And everything.
for my day job, I work a lot with numbers, so I'm wondering if that like
Oh yeah.
helps with
That
the brain power and things like that. Because you had
I can see
mentioned it
that.
earlier about figuring out the actor or director that shows up most or
Hmm.
in the movies. I actually was thinking of a year. I was looking for a movie to make sure that I hadn't already chosen it, and so
Hmm.
I typed in the year, and it pulled up the number. I think the year was 1980, and I had 7 results, and I was like, oh, I only have 7 movies from 1980 this whole entire year. And I was like, ooh, I wonder what years I have and the majority of it.
What's
And I
the
was like,
most
no,
of
no,
it?
no, Rachel. Nope. I'm
That
not doing another
that
project on top of another project.
that will be your deep dive end of the year review.
Yes, actually, that'll be my end of the year
What was your
Excel
top
spreadsheet.
decade? What was your top decade? Like,
Mhm.
honestly, it'd be kind of interesting. Like, that's me nerding out a little bit, but like top
I'm
decade,
going to write
top
it down.
actor, top actress, top director, top country.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about that? I mean,
Top everything, top
top
decade.
everything. So you're gonna have to spend 3 months figuring that all out. And good thing you got the next 3 years planned of what you're watching. You don't have to worry about that. So
This is true. Yeah, I'll start on 2028 tonight. I'm kidding.
no, did you watch your movie for today?
Yes, it was
Okay.
at 4 p.m. It was the Outlaw Josie Wales. So,
Okay. I couldn't remember if you said that was yesterday or today. So I was like, I didn't want to
mhm.
keep you from being able to watch what you needed to
No,
accomplish for today.
no,
So
because I knew you were at 8:30, so I was like, let me watch the movie earlier today.
get
But
that
if there
done.
was nothing on, then I probably would have started the movie around like 8 o'clock after we eat dinner and stuff like that. Just
Yeah.
come up and yeah, put a nice little X post out. I usually try and do it an hour before, if not earlier, if I already know what time I'm going to watch it, so everyone is aware throughout the day. Because things happen, things change,
Oh, for sure.
people
For
get
sure.
busy.
Yep. Yep. Nanette's trying to figure out if she's an elder
Oh,
millennial now. So I don't
well,
know. I don't
yeah.
know. That I do not know. I'll
I would
Google
say the
here.
elder millennials stay in the like first 5 years of whatever conjunction they want to put us in. So like 81 to 85. Yeah, you're an elder millennial. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to Rachel's world. Sin was saying Nadia was still. Yeah, I thought she was saying that she still would do that, but I was just giving her a hard time where I was like, I'm going to bug you. I'm going to have you. I'm going to try to get you on. You can still say no and you won't hurt my feelings, but I'll keep on asking. So she's a sweetheart. I hope
Mhm.
get to see her around. Like I said, it sounded like she'd still jump on other things, but
Yep.
just taking
She's going to be on my birthday stream, so you'll be able to see her there.
nice.
Yay.
Oh my gosh. There we go. And that's the 15th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. So, like I said, I don't even know what I'm wearing tomorrow. So, just making sure I keep that all straight. I'm still a little old school where I have a big, as I'm looking over here, I have a big paper calendar that I'll do all the scratches and everything to schedule things out. And then when I'm like, okay, this is set, and then I put it in my phone.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's a good idea.
yeah, well, I don't know if it is or not, but that's just kind of what I've done. But Nanette was saying I never edit my videos. Well, apparently I don't either. So, especially with live streams, but that's why I have so much fun with them. Larry was saying I find the thumbnail creation is the biggest pain. Editing, not so much.
Interesting.
But I think you put more effort into your thumbnails than I do, Larry. I'll say that.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
I haven't
It's all
with the
Skynet,
few videos
Corey.
that I've it's all
Yeah, sorry.
Skynet. The few
Yeah.
videos that I've done, I haven't necessarily found the thumbnails to be too hard, but there's only been like 4 or 5 videos that I have on there, so everything else I've done has been a live stream.
Yeah, I abandoned. I I probably should have made that a goal for this year to do some more pre-recorded things, but I
Mhm.
abandoned pre-recorded pretty quickly when I kind of got bit by the live stream bug.
Mm.
When I was too scared to at first to do the live streams, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But then I ended up loving it, and now that's all I want to do. So I don't know,
That's great.
whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I was nervous the first time too, and I have been on stage naked, so I mean, I don't know what my problem was just looking at a camera here.
Oh, like literally?
Yeah, I did a production of Hair.
Well, not okay. So you were able to do that easier than going on a live stream? You got more nervous doing a live stream than doing that?
Yeah, I did.
Really? Wow. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. That seems pretty vulnerable. I don't
I know. It's very weird. It was
but
2007. Yeah, so
but like everybody things hit a little different. Like I said, I was very I was nervous about doing the live stream thing, but now I'm like, I don't know why I was ever nervous. I mess up, but now I think I don't take it as hard on myself, and
mhm.
I'm like, yeah. But like you said too, we've seen some people that have way bigger channels that
Yeah,
still have technical difficulties or something pop up, and it's not nobody's immune to that. So it's like, okay, well, little old me by myself, that's
yeah,
gonna happen
yeah.
sometimes, and not get to. Oh, there you go for I think for dream scenario. It's a little misleading.
Oh, okay. Oh wow. Oh, I've got a good movie lined up then. Yay!
You want a misleading? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I like his movies have been really good. The Unbearable Massive Talent of Weight. That was
It's a long title.
that was so funny. I was just like, you know what, Nick? Good for you. Good for you. Come
Yeah.
back. Do your thing.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Like I he's still got a career going on, and he's still
Yep.
getting in
Still doing
movies,
stuff.
and yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Larry was saying I'm probably the minority of being more excited for Dune 3 over Doomsday.
Huh.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what they do with that. But
Me too.
actually for both, I hope both are good. I'll just say that. I hope
Me
both are
too.
good.
I hope
'Cause
it's an exciting year. We're getting a lot of sequels this year and spin-offs. Like it's a long list, but if the quality of the writing is good and you want to tell a good story, then hopefully it's there and you'll show us. But if not,
Yeah. Yep. We'll find out soon enough. But I got a lot of discussion still about the thumbnails. So Annette, she likes them. She likes doing them. And then I think Larry's saying he second guesses himself a lot, and it drives him nuts. And then
huh?
Sin was saying I used to put a lot more effort into it and just now stick to the standard format. And yeah, I mean, it's a little different for everybody, but
Yeah.
I guess apparently I don't put a ton of effort into mine, but I don't know. But yeah, people get pretty creative with them. And I've seen some that I'm like, oh, that looks pretty interesting. But
Yeah.
Sin was saying, I don't think, wait, and I think it doesn't really have a huge impact on my views, the thumbnails, I think she was saying. So
Yeah.
we got Hortensia in here. How are you doing, Hortensia? Saying, hey, Corey, DJ NC. Good to see you. But yeah, we were just hanging out here. So I'm not saying you have to have more challenges for the year or goals, because you've laid out some pretty big ones. But do you have anything like personally for your channel that you're anything rolling out that people can watch for, or just kind of playing it by ear still with that? And I don't mean that in a bad way, because
No.
I'm still figuring out what I'm doing too. So
Yeah, like I just finished the film debuts of 1975. I think I released that like sometime last week.
yeah,
That was really fun to do, and I'm done with 1975. So moving on to 1976, I'll have some of the movies that have come out, do a segment on that. And I have some segments because there's a lot of people that we circle around that already do movie reviews. They
Hmm.
already do, they talk about what's going on in Hollywood and what movies are coming out in films. And I love joining all of those panels and listening to them. But I also don't feel like I need to add to the noise, so to speak. So
I
I
can see
kind
that.
of want to come up with some different things to talk about. So I know that I had written down, oh, one that just comes to mind that I'm thinking about doing a video on is with the ending of with the ending of Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
I actually was listening to a bunch of people review their stuff, and the title of it came into my mind, and I was like, great, now I just got to do the research. And it's literally going to be called Please Stop with the Mystery Box. Like everything from Lost all the way up until Stranger Things, these mystery box TV shows, they don't ever deliver like they're supposed to. And I kind of want to do a video on what you promised us, what you gave us, what you promised us, what you gave us. Why you keep doing the same thing over and over again? When are you going to learn? So things like that, I'm hoping to like grow on my channel, just things that are like out of the ordinary that most people aren't doing a video on or
Yeah.
aren't talking about. What is another thing I had written down? It was
No, it's interesting. I see what you're saying with that, though.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Best movie to never get a sequel.
oh, all right. Yeah.
Get a panel together. I was thinking a live stream of doing something like that and just, giving people a heads up. Here's what we're going to talk about. Maybe do some research and then just do something like that. Or maybe have my own video on, movies that I've watched that should get a sequel. For instance,
Yeah.
The Nice Guys. Oh,
That's a fun one. I'll say that for
such
sure.
a fun one.
Oh, it is a fun one.
It's too late for a sequel now because if they made a sequel now, I'd be so angry. I'd be like, not too long. You waited too long. But
Look at Maverick, Top Gun Maverick. That was like
okay. That one, yep. That
I
one
think
has a
after
past
that,
touche.
now everybody wants to do that. Now you hear all these like rumors of these like old films that have not had a sequel, and all of a sudden they're like, but anyway, that was a fun one. It was just a very funny role with was it Ryan Gosling and
Yes. Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Sorry, I was totally blanking on his name,
That's
but
okay.
they were so fun together, and
So much fun.
both of them are like kind of like wrecks in their own way, and just
Absolutely.
and them kind of coming together. But yeah, I could see that. That'd be like a fun one.
Yeah. So just like things like that for my channel, just coming up with different ideas and things. But again, they're all written down in this wonderful little book. I just got to get them.
Don't lose the book.
I know.
Don't lose the book. Yeah, that's the thing. You write all that stuff down, and then it's just like, okay, what do I do now? Like
Yeah. What do I do now? I have a title.
Yep. What's the next step here that
Yeah.
I got to take on this? But
So yeah, if people just tune into the channel, there'll be some things coming along, and
Yeah.
hopefully you'll see me on some like live streams. And depending on if I decide to pick up a TV show and make everyone watch it, or just save that pain for the Institute.
so yeah, so we know there's supposed to be a season 2 coming out. That was a green light for that, right?
There is, yeah.
Yeah,
God only
for
knows when it's coming out, but
Well, all right, it could be like 4 years from now or whatever, but
I
you never
know.
know. But so they greenlit that one. Do you have any series right now that you're really excited about, whether you got done watching it or is going to be coming up? Anything that sparking your interest? Or
if you haven't seen It Welcome to Derry, I had
You
no
said-
interest in watching it,
yeah,
and neither did Nadia. But then Nadia started watching it and started talking about it. So then I was like, okay, I'll watch it in case she has some sort of panel and she wants to talk about it, which she did.
Yeah.
So then I caught up and absolutely loved it. But again, I'm coming from the perspective of just watching the movies, and she came from knowing all the lore of the books and everything like that. And what they tried to do and insert with the TV show sort of made sense. According to her, sort of didn't make sense. But I thought that the story was good for what they tried to give. The acting from the children and the adults was phenomenal. And of course, seeing not Stellan Skarsgård. Is it Stellan? What is it? What's the
No,
Skarsgård that does it?
I don't know. I'm usually like
Eric? No.
Skarsgård, and Papa Skarsgård.
Yeah.
I always called her dad Papa Skarsgård. I know other people do too, but I'm
Bill.
blanking on
Thank you. Thank
Bill.
you.
Oh, there you
Thank
go.
you.
Always, yeah. Thank you, chat. We got Sin and Holland and everybody jumping. I love it,
Thank
and
you.
Larry and
Yeah.
rely
So
on the chat. Rely on the
seeing
chat.
him do Pennywise again was great. It really was. And I cried. There were some scenes. They really did with the children. They it was a good story.
Good.
It's a good story.
I'll have to check that out. I have
Yeah.
not yet, but so I know, talking about a series like this. So the Institution, we were talking about that. We did that on Nadia's channel, and you sounded like you read the book ahead of time. You already had read that, and you went into
Yeah.
that. Do you have any goals? Do you still keep up on reading, or like if you got all these movies you're watching, does that need to take a
Yeah.
break,
Well,
or do you still mix that in there?
no. I definitely come back to it. So because
Yeah.
of Welcome to Derry, I'm reading it. Um,
Okay.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a good book. So some of these chapters are like 128 pages long, and I'm like, no. But then I'm realizing like within the chapters, he breaks them down into like sub chapters. So then
Okay.
I read a sub chapter each night because I would never be able to get through. That's a long chapter.
Oh, that took me a while. I'll tell that.
That would
I'll
take
tell
me a
you
while.
that.
I'm not a fast reader.
I'm not
but
either.
but I do read and I remember reading The Institute. Some nights I couldn't put it down.
You
So
kept
then when we were
going.
doing the TV show, it was just so disappointing. Mm.
You had a different feeling.
Yeah,
You're like, is this episode over yet? Or
yeah. But I think after I'm done with it, Nadia actually really kind of wanted to continue on reading the King books, and I never got around to reading or watching The Dark Tower. And she's like, "Don't watch The Dark Tower." She's like, "That's not a good movie."
just read
Um,
it.
yeah, she's like, "Just start with a Gunslinger," and I was like, "Okay, I'll read that after it." It is so long. It is very long.
Do you? I'm kind of curious. Do you have a preference of being able to read the book first or watch the movie? So if you say you come into something and there's a book, there's a series or a movie, what do you usually like to tackle first? Do you want to go in and be able to form who you think those characters are, like looks and everything, like mannerisms, or do you like seeing the movie and then go into it? Or I don't know,
If
maybe
I
that's too
don't know,
difficult.
if I don't know it's a book and I watch the movie and
Hmm.
then I find out it's a book later, I'll put it on the list to read if I haven't already gotten around to it, because in my brain I'm kind of like, I know they always change the story most of the time from the book version to the movie version, but I still want to see what they've done.
Right.
If I'm watching a movie, like I knew going into 2025 that they were going to do The Life of Chuck, I
Hmm.
read that first. Then knowing that they were going to do The Long Walk, I read that first. The Institute read it first. So
Hmm.
if I know I want to watch something based on a book, I make sure I read it first. If I
Okay.
find out afterwards, I'll put it on the list to maybe compare and contrast, but it's never a priority.
Okay. I didn't know. I've heard people say different things where sometimes they like to form who they think that character is, like looks and everything like that on their own. And
Hmm.
then other people, no, some people like to watch something first and then go to read it to that. I don't know if that takes
Put
that
those
out of the
actors'
equation.
images.
Yeah. It
I've
helps you
had that happen.
visualize it. And,
It
yeah.
yeah.
That's just
I
interesting.
enjoy that point of view, honestly.
Another thing I was going to ask, so like from reading The Institution and then going to the series, do you think if you read a book and you like that, and then you see a property made after, like something like a series or a movie made off of it after that, so it's already a book you enjoy
Hmm.
and something's made, do you think you're more forgiving or more critical of that thing you watch after you've read this book you liked? Do you think you're more forgiving or more critical of the series or the movie based on that you watch? And I know you said a lot of times things are changed, but like, how do you approach that? Do you, because of your love of that, are you a little more forgiving of some of the things, or no, why'd you ruin what I love kind of thing?
If it's a story change like they did in I don't. If it's a story change like they did in The Long Walk, where they changed the ending like
Hmm.
completely,
Hmm.
I'm not forgiving
Hmm.
because that was just a fundamental change. That no, but if it's something like where I've read The Hunger Games and then I know what it's like to translate a movie into a book into a movie, and
Hmm.
sometimes some of those they don't translate on screen. I'm more forgiving, especially if I read that they tried to do it justice. If I've read it and I watched the movie and they've tried to do it justice, forgiving. If
Hmm.
they've completely not tried to do it justice and change the ending completely like The Long Walk, I am not forgiving whatsoever.
So if you're like, did you even read the book? Kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Or if you're like, okay, I can tell you're trying to honor it, but you went a little off path here. I'm okay. But if you're like, did you read the book?
Yeah.
Then you're like, no.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not like a black and white kind of thing. There's definitely gray areas, but
Yeah.
most of the time I'm forgiving because I can see that it is hard to translate some stuff. But if it's a fundamental change that you're just like, no, this is how this is going to end now, and that's not how it was in the book, where, in my opinion, the book ending was better,
Yeah.
unforgiving. In fact, I will sometimes make a mental note to see who the screen adaptation was done by and be on the lookout for other stuff that they've done,
Yeah.
and maybe not watch it
Yeah.
because you lost my trust. Like,
You already hurt me once, you're not
mhm.
going to hurt me again. But have you ever ran into a movie or a series that you felt improved on the book? And if you
Ooh,
haven't, that's okay. But I have you come away from one that you were like, or they just nailed
hmm.
it? Well, okay, maybe that's too difficult. Maybe not even
Yeah.
saying it's better, but like that you came away like saying they nailed it. They nailed it.
I mean, the
I'm putting you on
last
the
thing that
spot, so don't worry if
I
you don't
know,
have one.
and the only thing that I can say is Lord of the Rings. I mean, who is
Okay, okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
and Hunger Games. They
Yeah,
did do justice with as much as they possibly could with the Hunger Games, I
yeah.
feel. And I read all of those books, and they really did, down to some of the detailing in the movies and stuff like that. So, yeah, Harry Potter could have done better, but yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings is pretty much the top notch of all of them, and Hunger Games did really good, but I can't think of anything else. Like, the series is like losing my mind. Now put me on the spot.
Well,
I'm
no,
like, oh,
no, I know, right? Corey, come on. No,
I'm like,
those are
it's
two great ones.
bedtime.
Yeah, exactly. Well, shoot, I probably kept you way longer than you've wanted to be.
Oh
So
no,
I'm just looking at the time, kind of escapes. But no, those are two great ones to. I can completely see that. I've not read either one, but a lot of fans that I know would say the same thing as you. And talking about goals for the year,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go through the whole Harry Potter movie the series. I said trilogy, but eight.
Mhm.
It's like 8 movies. I've only watched like the first 3 or 4,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna start all over again because it's been too long ago, and I'm gonna go through them. So to watch that all and the 3 Lord of the Ring extended editions because I have not. I've only seen the first one of the theatrical release, and everybody's like, you got to have extended cuts. So I'm going to start it over and do the trilogy of that of the extended version. So those are 2 more
Amazing.
goals, is to watch through both of those before the end of the year. So
That's fantastic.
yeah. So, and I'm sure I'll be looking back and be like, why did it take me so long to do that? But like we were talking about earlier, there's always
Yeah,
something that somebody's gonna be like,
there
how could you
is.
have
There's
not
always
seen this
something.
before? But
I know. I know.
Sin was saying, I love it so much that that I've met some of the most fantastic people who love to talk about movies and shows as much as I do. Absolutely.
Yay.
So has that been your experience so far? Like doing this whole crazy YouTube thing, like whether you're jumping into a chat or you then deciding to start your own channel and do your own things or jumping on other people's live streams. Has that been your experience, or what's some other like, is there anything else positive that you've been like, wow, I maybe didn't expect this, but this has been a great thing for me in this way or that way?
Creating the channel, just like Sin said, meeting you,
Mm-hmm.
meeting Nadia, meeting Sin, meeting just everyone, talking about movies as if I was back in school again, and just with my group of friends that introduced me to foreign films back in the day. And now I get to talk about all of these
Mm-hmm.
films like, decades later. and start this, train up all over again. And I think that has been the most rewarding for me, is that I'm a theater major, so I shouldn't have any problems going on, and talking and things like that. And yet my first stream with Nadia, my hands were clammy. I was sweating. It was insane. I was just like, what is going on? And then I had to do my first like ever live stream on my own. It was like my first time watching Dog Day Afternoon. And I remember just like, I didn't know what to say. I had a script ready and I was just like, I'm going to forget everything. And then someone was just like, just pretend that you're talking to your friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I can do that.
Yeah. But it's different. So I know you said theater major and you have been on stage, obviously, you said in some vulnerable, positions like on stage, but it's still different and a new experience, and it can be nervous like that. But also going back to your days talking about Blockbuster Video, I felt some of that same fun with a lot of this, like going into the store on Friday night, trying to figure out what I'm going to watch. And then whether it's the person working behind the counter or another person looking at videos and being like, oh, if you like that one, have you ever watched this one? Be like, no. And you got to check this one out. Like you'd have conversations with complete strangers, but you had the same idea of just wanting to find something fun to get a couple of fun movies to watch for the weekend, and you'd hang out and talk about them, and then you'd throw some suggestions out or whatever. And it's kind of that fun feeling to be able to, for me, with all this too, and to just have people excited to talk about things. And it was never negative. It was just like, oh, well, if you like that one, maybe give this one a try,
Right.
So that's always fun. Movie Hunter hasn't been through the Stranger Things yet.
Okay.
I haven't either.
You haven't never seen anything?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
And not for a reason, not for a purpose or against it or anything like that. But I know the general gist of things with it, but it's been around so long and been so popular, it's kind of hard not to hear about things with it.
I know.
But it's just I'm kind of surprised I haven't watched it, honestly, as big as it is and everything. But say hi to USRNG in here, saying hi everyone. Larry was saying Brain Scan needs a sequel.
Brain Scan.
Do? But then he said Nice Guys is a good choice. So there he came back in and said,
I do. I mean, sometimes I do. I think about just like adding Ryan and Russell and be like, where's my sequel? Just send them a tweet and just be like, where's my sequel?
Well, sometimes I think they would be like, okay.
Sometimes I think you always hear those stories where they send like a random out to a celebrity and they actually answer back. And I'm like, watch that happen to me and I get my sequel.
Well, and then they're like, actually, I would love that. I will call Ryan or Russell right now,
I know. Rachel wants her sequel.
Yep. And Larry was saying maybe the other guys are stepbrothers as well for a sequel.
I can't believe the stepbrothers hasn't gotten one.
Got some comedies there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry's getting all the ones he wants sequels for. Atomic Blonde as well.
Seen that one. I haven't seen Atomic Blonde.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Put it on the list.
Then that had to check out, but I know I'm probably behind, but if you're still in here, thanks for jumping in and hanging out. Yeah. I always appreciate it. And I won't keep you all night, I promise here, Rachel. I'll run through here, but I know you're probably like, this guy will not stop talking. But
no, you're a different time zone from me. So I think
I got an hour on you. I got an hour on you. Yeah.
It's 11 here now, and I was just like, "Oh, it's bedtime."
Yeah, I'll wrap her up here. I know I'm keeping you a long time, but I'll say hi. We got Sashi in here saying greetings, everyone. And if you had fun, and we're still like jabbering about stuff, maybe have you on again sometime, and
absolutely,
or even
so much fun.
Like we were on with the Institute, like do a panel, talk about, and maybe even get me a little more focused, like actually do a topic or something instead of me just like, but I have so much fun. I love meeting new people. And like I said, this is like hanging out in Blockbuster and being like, hey, have you seen this before? And just start talking with people.
Amount of conversations. I'd be at the cash register and I would just, be scanning the room and anything like that. And I would see people talking to each other. And I miss those days. I mean, you met people, you talked to people, that's how you got new friends. People are
Mhm.
like, I moved to a new town and I don't have any friends. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, it's too bad you can't go to your local Blockbuster
Yeah.
and meet,
Well, yeah,
meet up
like
with
go
friends and
there.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and find some new
everything's,
movies that you maybe never heard
yeah.
of before and
Yeah.
get to see
So
that.
I'm glad that now there's like this online thing where if you are alone, you can still find people
Yeah.
who want to watch movies with you or want to do something with you and
Yeah.
not be alone and, have that
Yeah.
camaraderie,
Oh,
even if it
absolutely.
is digital.
Yeah. But hey, take what you can get, right?
That's right.
And I still have fun with it a lot. Even like I still like with everybody jumping in the chat. I appreciate that so much, and I still enjoy doing that on other people's streams. Just being out in the chat and talking with either the people live streaming or the other people in the chat. But I was going to bring up Sinhead in here. If I see a movie that is based on a book, I try to make sure I've got a good buffer of time in between. That way, the book isn't so fresh in my mind that I go in with a super high expectation.
I see. No, that's good. Yeah, that probably didn't help that I read the books right before seeing Life of Chuck and maybe The Long Walk because my expectations were extremely high.
Set it pretty high, very high. Sashi, you're funny. I'm Asian. I'm critical of everything. So, well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna run through here really quick. I know I've kept you. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
please. I mean, absolutely.
Okay. Why you just feel bad? I don't want to keep you up like way too late. I did not even see this. USRG, thank you so much. $2 super sticker. I can see it on my. It doesn't bring it up on StreamYard, but I see it there. Little pup there. So thank you so much. That's super, super kind of you. I appreciate that so much. I'm going to just try to do a quick. Sashi, you guys have friends? That's what I tell everybody. Sashi, you're on a roll, Sashi. Asians just have acquaintances.
Oh my goodness.
Sin was saying, yes, exactly. When I first started recording videos, it felt so weird, unnatural. Eventually, it became like I was just talking with my friends.
Yes.
That is legit how it feels when I record now. Helps
Yep.
a lot.
It really does.
That's how I feel now with live streams. I don't think I've gotten there with pre-recorded yet.
videos.
Yeah. So even if I'm just by myself, hanging out and talking with the chat, it feels like hanging out, talking with friends. So I feel way more comfortable with that than pre-recorded right now. But I will admit that I have not given that enough of a chance either. I kind of, like, oh, I feel good about this. And I just like went hard right to that one. So, yeah, we'll see here. We'll get back to it. Ari's World is getting a little smiley face. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to run through here really quick. So, I'm going to put a pin in that. So I know I kept you way longer than you probably thought you were going to. I appreciate it so much.
I'm just absolutely delighted.
Well, it's just fun. You're such a sweetheart. Okay, sorry. I shouldn't always say that. I don't mean that in any offensive way.
Oh, please. If you don't call me sweetheart, I'm going to get offended.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm older and I grew up in rural area. And so anyway.
Yeah.
You're a sweetheart. You're such a nice person. You're so easy to talk to. I've had so much fun, like when I was hanging out on all those streams, even if every day wasn't really fun with the Institute recaps on the episodes. It seems like we always had fun, like with all of us on there talking. And so I've definitely have enjoyed getting to know you on this whole thing. So hopefully get to hang out some more, whether doing something like this again, or, if you ever feel like coming on and I need to do more panels. I want to get more panels going. I got a couple I'm doing. I got one coming up with my friends Anthony, Sin, and Ashley. But I'd like to do some more of those. And if you're ever up for that, I'd love to have you back on again and talk. And if you can put up with my randomness and not shutting up sometimes, but
oh no, this was fantastic. We had like a plethora of discussions that we
and I didn't even get to like half the things I was going to ask you. But no, I'm just kidding.
Isn't that crazy? Well, you know what? Maybe I can come back in February and we can discuss February, my February schedule.
Absolutely. Have you back out and we'll look at your February calendar.
Yeah.
We'll
and
see
then
what
you can ask all the questions that you wanted to ask before.
Do you have all of them listed on your site or just for each month?
So right
Like
now I
1 month
just
at a
have,
time.
yeah, 1 month at a time.
Okay.
But if I pull up my Canva, I have the entire year.
Oh, so actually that'd be kind of fun. Maybe we'll have to have you back on and see, and we'll look at your upcoming February watches
Okay.
and compare them to what we remember of your January
Mm-hmm.
schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and see what you got coming up. So
I can talk about my martyrs experience.
yeah, yeah. If you successfully came
Survive.
through that, and I still have not gotten brave enough to watch that one yet. I've heard just be the right spot for that one. So, but no, absolutely. I think that's a great thing you're taking on. That's a great goal. And man, you're going to knock out so many first time watches this year.
So
That
many
is,
first time
that is
watches. And
great.
I, and I'm trying to it's hard, and this isn't a mandatory thing for me, but if I can even squeeze out a quick review and put it on Criticlist or Letterbox, I try to do that because
Yeah.
I literally just watch the movie and like at least my first time take, like I can write stuff down and put it out. But I was like, yeah, it's just watching these movies and put out a review, or just a quick what I thought of it too. So,
Yeah.
but it's not mandatory for me. Believe me, it's more right now just getting the movie watched with some people in the movie club. That's it.
Yeah. I get in trouble because on Letterboxd I don't put reviews or, or rate them. I just log that I watch them, and then I have friends that follow me on there. They're like, "Okay, seriously, Corey, did you like it or not?" Kind of a thing. So they're like, "I don't even care if you just put on your review that I liked it or I didn't like it or it was okay." They're like, "Just
Hmm.
put something." So maybe that can be something I could work on this coming year as well, to put a put something on there you can at least figure out if I enjoyed it or not. So,
Yes. Yep.
but well, if you don't mind hanging on for just a moment after we go off live,
Yeah.
just real quick, but I'll just say everybody has been super awesome in the chat tonight. This has been awesome. So fun to, it's a nice thing that I was looking forward to before, you can put off thinking about work again for a little bit until tomorrow. But everybody, thank you so much. You've been great in the chat. Love y'all. And definitely right now, I only have the YouTube link for Rachel out there, but please go out there. You can find her probably going through that as well to other things, but we're going to talk here, and I'm going to get some other links out there if people visit back later and want
Yeah.
to find some different ways to connect with you and see all the things that you're doing, Letterboxd and X or whatever.
Absolutely.
And we'll get that all out there. So again, thank you so much for spending probably more of your evening than you were expecting with me. So I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much for inviting me. This is my first like chat hangout interview where I got to talk about all of the stuff that I love with people. So
I love it.
thank
I
you,
love
Corey.
it. Well, no, I love it. And like I said, it's, you can tell how excited and how much you love it. And that's makes me excited to, as well, about getting back into movies and everything else and digging into things. So I appreciate your time. So,
Absolutely. Thank you.
all right, we're going to call it an evening. So everybody, love y'all. Thank you so much for making the chat so fun. And we'll be talking to y'all here really soon. So we'll